mushrooms will return to the witness box tomorrow when the trial continues.
Senator Jackie Lambie says boosting the morale of our Defence Force is more important than upgrading military equipment. The US is pushing the Albanese government to lift defence spending to around $40 billion a year. The Prime Minister argues Australia decides its defence budget, not other countries. Senator Lambie says there's no point spending more money if we don't have an adequate Defence Force in place.
The morale is really down in there. That needs to be sorted out. Defence personnel, they should be concentrating on that the next 12 or 18 months and getting those numbers up. And the only way you're going to get those people into defence is when you've got people wearing that uniform that go, come and do this great job.
Now turning to 5AA sport.
At Barossa Volkswagen, we'll let you take a car home for the night. Barossa Volkswagen, city service, country feels.
Crows teammates are rallying behind Wayne Miller over Rabblegate as Adelaide look ahead to the Lions at home this Friday night. Port are back from the bye to face the Giants on Saturday. Brisbane CEO Greg Swan will take up the AFL's new position of Football Performance Executive. SA's Nathan McSweeney, Jason Sanger, Henry Thornton and Liam Scott have been named in the 16-player squad for Australia A's multi-format series against Sri Lanka A in Darwin next month. Glenn Maxwell has announced his retirement from the 50-over international format effective immediately, but the all-rounder will continue to play T20s for Australia and has not called time on his first-class career. And Oscar Piastri leads the Formula One World Championship by 10 points after winning the Spanish Grand Prix. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Whether your block's the size of Adelaide Oval or the Gold Square, customise your build with Sterling Homes.
At Marin, urgent gasworks at the moment, Sturt Road near the Marion Club. Also got a bit of activity at Holden Hill. Burst Watermain getting fixed. Northeast Road near Grand Junction. I've got 2 lanes out of action there, so she is super slow. And Findon, a breakdown in the slip lane involving a trailer. Heavy delays Grange Road at Findon Road. Camera, Valletta Road, Fulham Gardens. The BMW Expo sale event is on now with exceptional offers across a range of BMW vehicles, including the X3, X5 and 1 Series. Must end June 30. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Partly cloudy this afternoon, a shower or 2 and 17 tomorrow, mostly sunny and 16 on Wednesday, showers developing Thursday 18. Right now it's 20 degrees. Now let's see what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Raglas. Tonight, a city hotel turned crime scene. 3 stabbed, 1 critical. The simple shake that lowers your risk of heart disease. Thunderstorms, cyclones, volcanoes. We take a look at the airline nerve centre that keeps us all safe. And can the Crows continue their red-hot run? Tonight, the inside word from Rory Sloan. 9 News. Your news. 9th at 6 on 9 and on 9 Now.
The news and issues that matter to South Australia. Always Adelaide. This is 5AA. The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey.
I am flabbergasted.
And Timmy G.
Absolute sports festival.
Good afternoon. Hope you had a stellar weekend. There is so much to delve into for our Monday footy review. You can call in, get involved with the show. We love hearing your opinions and thoughts on a Monday after a jam-packed weekend of sports. Sam Tugwell welcoming Rowey and Timmy G.
Yeah, there was plenty happening, Sam. You're right. 8223 0000. Get on the phone. Tell us all about it. It's your weekend review or footy in review. Hope you enjoyed your weekend. I had a little bit of local sport in my diet this weekend. Of course, the Adelaide Crows demolition of the Swans. The T-Birds went down by 2 points. The Steelers won silver in the wheelchair world challenge, and Oscar Piastri won Spain. Melbourne City, our own Aurelia Vidmar, the coach of Melbourne City, wins the A-League flag 1-0 as I welcome Stephen Rowe. How are you and how was your weekend? Cock a hoop?
Well, it was all about the Josh Worrell goal. It was about the Crows winning by 90-plus points. It's about the Crows being the informed team of the comp, sending shockwaves through the competition. Are they a real contender? We'll know after the Brisbane game. God, that was good. So that's all that was on my mind.
Hardly any mention in a state about it, though.
No.
It was funny. I was trying to look for stories and the like. There was hardly anything.
Well, they did pick
only
one.
story. There was only one story.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
I know.
What a joke.
Oh, gee whiz. But yes, I enjoyed mine. It's not every weekend that you see your grandson and your son kick a goal.
Oh.
Yeah, grandson in the soccer and son in the football. So
how good's that? Oh,
so
that's
I thought
exciting.
that's, you know what? I felt a bit lazy. How about you get out and kick a goal, Papa?
Yeah.
You lazy up.
Well, you could have given him your stats.
Oh, yeah.
Well, son,
Handballed off. I would have
300 games.
handballed off, mate.
Number one for goal assists the last 15 years.
That's only because I couldn't reach with my kicking. So anyway, Nixie thought it was probably one of those scenarios in the paper where you go, all played well.
We knew Sydney would come out hard, and we had to match that, and I thought our guys did a fantastic job. The way we started the game, just really pressured them as much as possible, and then we were able to get the game on our terms, and it was a really even, balanced performance across the board. You know, I'm trying to think through who our standouts were, and from a coaching point of view, that's the most pleasing part of the performance was, you know, everyone contributed.
I thought Rob got beaten. Tex probably got out-nutted in the end, but other than that, to think that your best players were 100% different than the week before like Alex Neil-Bullen, Keys and Rochelle are half-forward flankers. First half last week didn't get a kick. It just shows, doesn't it? Like they were superb on that little deck.
You remember we were talking to Fitzy on Friday,
Yes.
And I said, I think you mean that ground's not suitable for centre-half forward.
That's what you said in...
Yeah, and it ended up being those littler blokes that took advantage of...
14 different goal kickers.
Yeah, and I think that actually worked for Adelaide. And what I did like was still thought coming up the ground because, you know, it's not great for centre forwards. He came up a lot and took marks up on the wing and the like. So, no, it did look very good. Here's some things, and I know you since Campo's come along, I know you're a big stats man, so I'm just going to...
Oh, no, I don't like eating stats. I like them to confirm what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
I'm a gut feel man.
Well, they're top three. You can't deny that. A win-loss of 8-4. Number one scoring team in the comp. Number two defensively.
Ooh.
Biggest win of the season and best percentage. So are you popping corks or what's going on? How many did you pop on the weekend?
Well, no. I said I've got a quaddie, and everyone that hears our call knows. I had West Coast into that game on the weekend versus Sydney and Sydney, into the Friday night game Brisbane, into Hawthorn at Launceston.
Yeah.
Now, round 15's the bye. By hell or high water, and I will lead the charge of every Crow supporter. There'll be more than Verve champagne popping. There will be lifts littered. There'll be all sorts. Because if they can win these four, they're going to be top three, top four, top two even. With those sort of numbers, they're a contender. Now, are they a serious contender? Well, they've got to beat the Collingwoods away and the Brisbanes when they get opportunity and Geelongs. But they are now, in my eyes, with those numbers, and you cannot deny it, they're a contender.
Well, Rory Sloane says it's Nixie's best win and probably best win since 2017.
That's the most mature win, I think, from the Adelaide Crows since 2017 prelim final against Geelong. They were flawless. Nixie would have been so happy. That's Nixie's best win in his tenure as coach.
I didn't think that, but I tend to agree. While he's talking, it's the first time I heard that. I'm rattling over my brain, but it'd be up there. It'd be certainly on the podium. That was as complete a win. They kicked 14-4 from turnover, 7-1 from stoppage. They won in every aspect of the game. So when they had it, they used it. When they didn't have it, they pressured. And it wasn't if Sydney turned the toes up. They were cracking in. Their pressure gauge was 240, which is elite. So under that pressure, they still did that. Boy.
The only thing I noticed was an enormous amount of missed tackles that didn't stick. Just walked through them.
Yeah.
And then when they got through, the skill level to be able to hit targets.
Yep.
The kicking, it's got to be right up there.
Dare I say it, Sydney were a rebel.
Well, you've inspired
I'm with
me.
you, Junior.
I was thinking
a rebel.
I was thinking of a little bit of that. Let's hear Wayne Miller's little faux pas.
Sort of feel it as a group, you know, we were all over them in the first half, and you know, that was sort of a bit of a rabble just hearing from them on ground.
Now, was it a faux pas? I just think he spoke the truth. I'll tell you this. Here's a couple of things. Wayne Miller Jr. did a game for us on 5AA versus Carlton last year, where I reckon it was that goal that Berry kicked to put us in front. Was very opinionated, saw the game well, and is very measured with his commentary. This is 5 minutes after singing the song about beating Sydney by 90-odd points that you haven't beat them for 5 years. Someone put some radio cans on there and he spoke the truth. And I'll tell you what backs up his truth. Half the crowd left at halftime, and every score they kicked after halftime, the crowd cheered. So they thought they were a rebel. So what in hell is Jack Riewoldt on about?
Well, let's have a listen to Jack. He thinks it's disrespectful.
100% that's disrespectful. Yeah, calling an opposition team a bit of a rabble in a media sense. And we've just come off the conversation with Matthew Nicks about they dropped Josh Worrell for values. I mean, I would love to know where that sits, or a comment like that sits in the values of the Adelaide Football Club. So there's clearly some big questions on that going forward too.
Nah, totally disagree. He got it wrong. No, you don't give the opposition any ammo. I get that. Be humble in victory and gracious in defeat, all that sort of stuff. But here's a bigger one. Why apologise?
Yeah.
So our CEO rang their CEO and apologised. I hope Neil Baum picked up the phone and said, why did you do that, Tim? Don't apologise.
The way I heard it was that Wayne was just speaking his mind. If he could have used other words like disorganised or whatever, he would have.
Oh, well, let's hang him. I mean, the AFL media's given me the irrits. And I know I'm a part of it, and people say, Rowey, shut up, you live in a glass house, but I don't go down that path. People are looking for stories.
It was innocent. It was an innocent comment.
So that's the biggest story out of that game. What about Rochelle's goal? What about the fact they beat Sydney in Sydney?
I think you mean goal assist.
Well,
goal assist.
Yes. Goal assist. But I mean, honestly, so that was the one thing that came out of that game.
Which was a bit sad.
God, I hate it.
Totally agree. I was just wondering whether we could come up with a song or two about it. I was thinking David Bowie's Rabble Rabble, maybe something like that.
How long did you workshop that?
Well, I got a couple more.
Have you?
But I thought I'd open it up to listeners who...
David Bowie, Rebel, you Rebel. Yeah, no, I get it.
Inspired. Inspired.
I don't mind that.
Or they're a rebel and they'll never ever be any good. Something like that. You know, so come on, get involved. Give us your best song with the word rebel in it to describe that little faux part. It was nothing more than that. Greg Swan, we've heard that there was going to be an executive GM of football performance that was going to come in next to Laura Kane. Won't be answering to Laura Kane. No, will be on the same level as Laura Kane. Well, it's going to be Greg Swan. Of course, for those that don't know Greg, he's been in football for a long time.
He's from Clubland. That's exactly what they need.
So he's been at Collingwood. He's been at Carlton. He's been at Brisbane. So
as a CEO.
Just to give you probably a little snapshot, is when he was at Collingwood between 99 and 07, I think they finished bottom and then rose into a couple of grand finals in 02 and 03. Weren't able to get it done then. Got it done a bit later on. But he actually reworked their business model. And I think he's very good at that side of things. He's been in football for a long time.
He's a football man. What's the core business?
Football, absolutely. But you've got to make sure that the right things are going in the right boxes and all the rest of it. And I think he'll be able to get some of that. Carlton between 07 and 13 where they got Judd traded back in, and he took him from $18 million turnover to $57 million before he left. That's pretty good in a quick time. But Brisbane is the interesting story. He got there in 2014, and they were 15th, and they had some terrible years. Fagan got appointed in 2017. So they'd finished down the bottom four, like 15th, 17th, 17th. Fagan gets appointed. They finished bottom in 2018. Did you know that? 2 years later, they finished third.
Okay.
How's that?
And now they've won a flag.
A flag. So,
sustained success. He's given that
success over that. After that, it was third, fourth, sixth, second, and first. So, an unbelievable run.
Football person.
He knows footy, knows how to run it. So, I reckon it's a very good appointment, and hopefully, he might be friend of show one day. Never know your luck.
Oh no, Swanee's good with us. He'll pick up the phone.
Oh, good. You've spoken to him before.
Oh hell yeah, he's a ripper.
Excellent. All right.
You want to get him on this week? You want me to ring him?
Done. Maybe,
Well, we're playing them Friday night.
Yeah, don't call him a rebel. Cause
don't do that. You know what? He wouldn't care.
No,
because he's a footy person.
Wouldn't give a rat's. Oscar Piastri, probably the sensational.
That gets a clap.
Sporting event of the week.
Drivers' Championship F1?
Well,
he is.
He's 10 points in front of his teammate Lando Norris, but it's his fifth win from 9 GPs. Now that equals the most wins by an Aussie in a season. Brabham and Alan Jones, Jack Brabham, have both done it. But if he gets 6 and he's got 15 more races left,
oh man,
he's going to beat that record. But I don't think Oscar is worried about that. He's worried about winning a championship.
He wants to win it.
He's pretty steely-eyed about what he wants to do.
A faultless drive.
Absolutely.
Faultless.
Have a listen to him.
Faultless.
Like
this.
Drama everywhere you look. No dramas for Oscar Piastri, who wins his 5th Grand Prix of the year. Piastri takes the Spanish Grand Prix. It's a McLaren one too.
There you go. Well done, Oscar. Congratulations. Give us a call. Is it the Crows' best win ever? That's what Rory Sloane reckons since 2017.
Since under Matthew Nicks.
Under Matthew Nicks. Best Nixie win ever. Is it that one? Is it that one, you reckon?
8223 0000 is the number to call in. We'll speak to Josh Worrell from the Crows after their stunning win against the Swans on Saturday night. We'll speak to Ollie Wines as well. Port Adelaide refreshed after the bye weekend. We'll check in with the Port Adelaide Footy Club, and we'll speak Formula One with this Oscar Piastri phenomenon. He is continuing to make waves. He is leading the way. Michael Laminato will speak with us a little later, and we have some breaking news on the West Adelaide Football Club on the other side of this break, so stay with us. There is some big news in regards to Coach Adam Hartlett. It's 17 minutes after 4.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
What makes an iconic South Australian business? It's a special combination showcased in 5AA's Best of SA.
Ray Pepper loves a clean truck and launched his own truck washers and developed his own Pepper's truck strength cleaning products. Made in Australia, they're fantastic for your truck, car, caravan, boat or at home. Make it shine because everything goes better with a bit of Pepper. Go to peppersaustralia.com.au.
The Best of SA, thanks to major sponsor Ray White Business Sales and Adelaide's 5AA.
Got something big to budge? Budget with Budget. Little trucks, big trucks. You can do it all in a budget rental truck. Get exactly what you need and at a great price too. So remember, whatever you've got to budget with a budget rental truck. Budget car and truck rental. Call 13 27 27. That's 13 27 27.
Budget with a budget rent-a truck. It's quick and cheap. Well, half your luck when you budget with a budget rent-a truck. City Discount Tires.
Get saving now with City Discount Tires. We're offering great deals on the world's top brands in tyres, wheels, suspension and parts. Suitable for four-wheel drives, SUVs and passenger cars, including Falcon, Michelin, Pirelli, Kumho, Hankook and many more. Finance options available. Search citydiscounttires.com.au and locate your nearest dealer today. City Discount Tires. We're driven by value.
City Discount Tires.
At Barossa Volkswagen, the open road is calling. It is magnificent. No tight turns, no traffic cones, no... Yeah, exactly. You don't have to wait for the lights or anything like that. No awkward loops past the office blocks. It's just free,
It is
carefree.
Open up that Amarok, take it for a fan, give it a real test drive.
Gee, they're a fair old vehicle.
Now, you've got to drive up to... Well, they're great. You've got to drive up the Barossa Valley Volkswagen. Barossa Volkswagen. I always put Valley in there, but it's Barossa Volkswagen. It's in the main street, left-hand side.
Yes.
Ask Woody or the team, they're friendly staff, can I take an Amarok or any car, a Tiguan, a Touareg, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Take it for a test drive. Take your time. Put the windows down. Smell the roses. Yeah. In their case, the vines.
Oh, yes, exactly. And look, if one afternoon's not enough, don't worry. Have a sleepover. Here's the keys. Yep, there you go. Throw it in. Make sure it fits nicely in the garage and all that. No hard sell. No hovering salespeople.
No.
Just relax. Take it easy, man.
Service, take it easy, man. Price, service, quality, it is just the place to go. Volkswagen, it's Barossa Volkswagen. Test drive the Amarok, that's my favourite. From here, I reckon you can get there. Once you get on that Southern Expressway, you're there in about 40 minutes from town.
I'd go the
Maybe
Northern
50.
Expressway myself.
Oh, sorry. Well, it's the same.
It's going to take a long time to get back.
We'll take the Amarok, do a Yui way down there at Victor Harbour, then come all the way back.
From here, 50 minutes.
In fact, you wouldn't even use a quarter of a tank.
Good idea.
Them Amaroks, God, they're good. Well done. And by all means, as we said, take your time, put it in the driveway, ask for Woody or any of the friendly team. Woody is the dealer principal. He's an absolute legend. Pretty generous this time of year too, up the financial
Gotta
year.
be.
There'll be a special or two.
Oh, yeah.
So when he says this price, just nudge him. Little nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Can you take another?
Couple of mats.
That's it. Put a Barossa in there. Red, that is. Barossa Volkswagen, you'll love it. It is absolute city service, but it's got that country feel.
Hey, it's Jordan Dawson here, captain of the Adelaide Football Club. I know the importance of a home ground advantage. And when it comes to building, South Australia is the home ground for Sterling Homes. With nearly 50 years of experience here, they know how to create the perfect home, whether your block's the size of Adelaide Oval or the Goal Square. If you're looking to build, look no further than Sterling Homes and get the home ground advantage today.
G'day, it's Ben from BJ Energy. Lately I've had a lot of people asking about the federal battery rebate, what it is, how it works and whether they're eligible. At BJ Energy, we've done the homework. Our job is to help you make the most of the rebate while it's still around. So if you're thinking about solar or a home battery, or just have any questions about the federal battery rebate, it's easy to get in touch with us. No sales pitch, just straight answers. Visit bjenergy.com.au. That's bjenergy.com.au.
More than just a camper, it's an experience. From purchase to every journey thereafter, our expert team is here to guide you, ensuring that you're supported every step of the way.
Austrac.
Austrac.
Austrac Canvas.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
At 23 minutes after 4, it's our Monday footy review. Was it Adelaide's best win under Matthew Nicks? That's what Rory Sloane thinks. Are the Crows a contender? And was Wayne Miller's rabble comment worth apologising for? 8223 0000 is the number. All thanks to Rossdale Homes, SA's most trusted, custom design, fixed pricing, total peace of mind. Because trust is a must. Let's check your traffic.
Afternoon at Salisbury East. Urgent sewer works at the moment. Bridge Road near McIntyre Road. Got a couple of lanes out of action, so she is super slow. First water main getting fixed at Holden Hill. Northeast Road near Grand Junction Road. Got 2 lanes out of action there too. Heavy delays and a crash at Nan on the freeway down trip near Bald Hills Road. Cameras, Tapley's Hill Road, Fulham and Old Belair Road at Mitcham. Shop, eat, chill, repeat in KL. Fly Adelaide to Kuala Lumpur via Bali from just $319 with AirAsia. Book now, T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Hot off the press.
So the West Adelaide Football Club have released a club statement just in the last 20 minutes saying the West Adelaide Football Club wishes to advise that senior coach Adam Hartlett will take an extended period of personal leave to focus on his well-being with the support of the club. We ask that Adam and his family be given privacy during this time. An update on an interim coach will be announced this week.
So Nord, who was second bottom, absolutely walloped them. Nearly 100 points, was it?
Yeah.
That'd be enough as a coach for you to go, wow.
Yeah,
he's a ripper. I've used him, and, well, other than the fact he's a great bloke, he can coach. He sees the game well, hence he got the job at West Adelaide. They haven't got the talent. I don't care who you put in there. Put Malcolm Blight in there. I don't care who you do. He was with us a lot through the state program. I love his thoughts. I love his footy IQ. So, Hearts, mate, you'll be right.
Yeah.
We're right behind you. And real footy people... The real footy people.
Understand.
We understand, mate.
Yep, absolutely. Our thoughts with you, buddy, and hopefully you're back on the track soon. Righty, let's get to our callers. Wyalla, John. G'day, mate.
How are you, fellas?
All right, buddy.
What about those Crows? What a great result it was. They played very well. But I'm a bit perturbed about an apology for saying rabble.
Yeah.
What's the Crows coming to? Are they soft or what?
Oh, I wouldn't have, I was always told you never apologise. Don't complain and don't explain. Just shut up and get on with it.
Oh, I can't understand. There's nothing wrong with rabble. There's a lot worse words that they can use.
Well, they were a rebel, Johnny.
Yeah, they were. I agree. But I don't agree with the apology.
No.
Yeah, John, I'll back you up there, I reckon.
Your club never apologised? My club, Nord, never did.
I just reckon you
don't apologise.
You just go... You might say, hey, look, let's get the media team on and, maybe broaden those descriptions maybe and all the rest of it. But in the end, they were. It was a fact, unfortunately.
Were the stinkiest team I've seen this year.
I mean, if the Western Bulldogs had said that about Port when they whacked us by 91, I would say, I haven't got any argument.
Yeah.
And you know what? You want to prove that wrong next time, but you know what? At that moment, you were.
And I reckon when the apology come, Tom Harley, who's the CEO of who's a premiership player, captain, played a lot of footy, would have said, mate, we were. Don't need to apologise for that. We were a rebel. Anyway, they've done it. I just feel for Junior that it got bought up by a senior premiership bloke in Jack Rewalt over nothing. And that is the AFL media now. They're beating. And why don't you talk about that goal that Rochelle put out in front of Keys? That was brilliant.
Oh, there was lots of moments you could have talked about.
God. Hello, Johnny.
How you going, gentlemen?
Good, John.
The Malera comment, if you listen to what he was saying, and he said something about being a rabble and what they could hear on field, I think he probably chose the wrong word, and he probably something like disorganised or unorganised, right? But for Tim Silvers to ring up and apologise for that just shows no backbone. And that would be the last club that I would be apologising for after they tried to railroad us in the Tippett saga and a few other things that they've done along the way.
Good on you.
There's no way I'd be apologising to that mob, ever, right? And I agree with you guys. Well, why apologise? For what? For what reason? And do I think it's the Nixie's best win? Well, you know what? When I'm watching a team get smashed by 90 points, I reckon they are very disorganised and they are a rabble, and I'm not sure that I'd call it their best win. But, you know, there's a game on Friday night that we need to win, and there's probably some other games this year that is gonna put us up there. They're the ones we need to concentrate on, not the ones that we win by 90 points.
Well, Will Campo and I did the call, and I watched the second quarter of Sydney versus Melbourne at the MCG the week before, and they were a rebel. There was 22 inside 50s to 4 that quarter. Melbourne went on to win by 54 points. So I said to the boys, if Crows get this right, this could be ugly for Sydney. They got it right, and it was ugly for Sydney, and they were a rebel. You're wondering about songs? What about Elvis Presley's You Ain't Nothing But a Rebel, and You Ain't No Friend of Mine? Who said that?
Keep them coming.
That
Love
wins.
that one.
That wins. Hello, Les.
Yeah, good afternoon, gents.
Hey,
In
Les.
regard to this apology business, what it does, it actually shows the woke and soft society we're living in these days.
Spot on.
And, you know, for Tim Silver to come out and apologise, and I probably should have prefaced this by saying I'm not a Crow supporter, you know, and I don't mind Sydney Swans, but at the moment they are a rabble, and I don't think that Wayne Malira's comments, there was no malice or intent to degrade the other club. It was just a comment in an interview, and it, as I said before, it shows this soft, woke society we're living in, and for them to apologise, you know what, it shows no backbone whatsoever. Now, the other comment I just would like to make, if I could, I'd like to congratulate Harry Ram, a product of Brighton Footy Club and Glenelg Footy Club, for being draft to Port Power.
Brighton Bombers.
Well said, Les.
Yeah, and I can tell you something now. This lad would be one of the nicest, well-mannered and respectful kids you've ever want to meet. So I really hope he does well, but he's got his feet firmly planted on the ground, and it's good to see kids like that actually make it and get a chance to have a crack.
Yeah. Well, we spoke very well, didn't he?
He did.
Glowing of the praise of his parents and excited.
He was very excited.
He'll play too this year.
Yeah.
You watch.
Let's go to Highgate. G'day, David.
Dave.
Oh, g'day, boys. Just going to mention one name in terms of the Crows' resurgence this year, Murray Davis.
100%.
He's obviously made a hell of a difference. Just a quick story. We were at Noosa October last year. We got into an Uber, and the guy driving was Tony Fooley, Danny Fooley's brother.
Right.
And I got talking footy, and he knew Murray from both the Northern Territory and up there in Queensland, and he raved about him. Of course, I didn't really know much about him, but by God, as he turned out to be right.
Dave, our ball movement, we're like the Lions mark too, that kick mark, that front six, how they structure, the defensive six, how they structure. Even the Dawson that goes into the cage and Rankin's on the ball and they switch was like McCluggage and Bailey. There's a lot. The Smalls, Alex Neil-Bullen, Keys, their running patterns with Rochelle, how they always have one deep. This is Brisbane Mark II. This was the battle of the who's the better Brisbane.
Ooh, the
on
better
Friday
version
night.
of Brisbane,
The
you
better
reckon?
version.
Ooh.
He has been.
Who's the real lion?
Who is Raw? Let's hear him raw.
Good on you, Katy Perry.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Hey, another one before you go. There's a suggestion here that I reckon you could do Billy Idol's The Rebel Yell. Yeah,
there's one.
I like that one as well. So keep them coming. Like it.
8223 0000 is the number. It's our Monday footy review. Next, we'll play Like, Love and Loathe. So call in, tell us what you liked, loved and loathed from the weekend of sport. And Rowey is going to go deep diving, analysing the Crows' victory. Their 90-point smashing of the Sydney Swans.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good afternoon. Mel Usher with the 5AA News headlines. 2 men have been arrested and charged following a machete attack in the city this morning. Accused mushroom killer Erin Patterson has broken down in the witness box. Labor says it's open to increasing Australia's defence budget amid pressure from the US, but won't say how much it's prepared to spend. And in sport, Glenn Maxwell has retired from one-day international cricket, effective immediately. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Whether your block's the size of Adelaide Oval or the Gold Square, customise your build with Sterling Homes.
Afternoon in the Parklands, a crash to look out for Bartels Road near to Kettleville Terrace, Holden Hill, Burst Watermain, North East Road near Grand Junction Road. A couple of lanes out of action, so she is slow there. Urgent sewer works at Salisbury, East Bridge Road near McIntyre Road, a left-hand lane closed there with cameras Cashel Street, St Mary's and Ocean Boulevard at Sutcliffe Park. Get 40% off all Pirelli tyres during the end of financial year sale at My Car Tyre and Auto, one day only. Wednesday, 4th of June at My Car Tyre and Auto, T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, down to 10 tonight, a shower or two tomorrow, 17. Right now it's 20 degrees. We'll have more news at 5 on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Like, love, loathe.
I loathe you.
Tell us what you liked, loved or loathed from the weekend of sport. Call him now, 8223 0000.
The Shadow Minister for Primary Industries, Nicola Centofanti.
The state government's relief package has just absolutely completely missed the mark.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
To now have the ESL levy increase on top is just another slap in the face for our farmers.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
So will the opposition suspend the ESL for people who are actually farmers?
We are currently going through our policy at the moment.
I don't want to sound rude. You guys need to start making some decisions about what you stand for. The clock's ticking.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA, always Adelaide.
The blackout end of financial year sale is live at Edwardstown Mazda. With huge in-showroom only deals across all new and demo vehicles. Must end June 30. Only at Edwardstown Mazda.
You're smart, you're busy, and your time matters. So when that first sign of illness appears, you need answers, not appointments. That's when you reach for Cell Life, the premium 4-in-1 rapid antigen test that puts you in control. Fast, reliable results for COVID-19, flu A, flu B, and RSV in just minutes. Make the smart choice for your health and family. Insist on the brand that healthcare professionals prefer. Cell Life at leading chemists and Amazon. Cell Life, CELLIFE.
Built like a brick house. Tough as nails. That's Basic Trailers for you. This EOFIS, use code 5AA to drive away with Rego for just $1. Made with 100% Australian steel in Adelaide. Basic Trailers. Basically better.
There's some great South Australian names in business, and by Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens is exactly one of them. And they swear to deliver you every single damn time. How do you do it, Coxie?
They take it to a whole new meaning. I mean, the Buy Urban Swear Jar is about their pledge to do everything possible to make your bathroom or kitchen renovation experience the best it can possibly be.
So this is the reason why. Sean's the guru in kitchens at Buy Urbans. Over 30 years experience. There wouldn't be another kitchen and bathroom renovating company that would have a Sean.
Yeah.
30 years, do you mind?
Unbelievable.
Now, he swears to deliver the kitchen of your dreams with minimum fuss and interruptions at your home, because it's in your home.
Correct. And Aaron and John are the plasterers for Buy Urban, and they both swear to clean up after themselves. Now, that's a good thing too, because they can make a mess. Now, you'll never know they've even been there. They're that good.
You know when there's a good plasterer and painter, they got no paint or plaster on them.
Yes.
And Aaron and John, pristine.
Well done.
They don't even need a chamois or a sponge. Here there is no sponge bath.
You would swear they were going to get married, though.
You would. For a team that swears, God, they're good. For quality and service, they are. By Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens, Adelaide's home renovation experts.
At SEW Eurodrive, we keep Australian industry moving with innovative drive technologies and unmatched service. Our 24-hour emergency breakdown service minimises downtime to maintain productivity.
All right, so that'll be absolutely diddly squat. 0. Zilch. Nada.
Buy any new, used or demo vehicle from Wayville Hyundai before June 30 and you could win an entire year of groceries from Foodland on us. Groceries covered, car sorted, more money for what matters. Visit wayvillehyundai.com.au to find out more. T's and C's apply. Licence number T25707. Another great deal driven by Australian Motors.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G. The 5AA Sports Show.
Oh, Rochelli! He did a kicker on the outside of the boot with a one-touch soccer that looked like he should have been playing in the A-League Grand Final. And Keys has given a goal. What a highlight!
That is the 5AA call on Saturday night of that amazing highlight. It might be one of yours for Like, Love and Loathe. Is it one of your nominations? Call in now, 8223 0000. It's 23 minutes to 5 on our Monday footy review. Very soon we'll speak to Crow Josh Worrell and Port Adelaide's Ollie Wines.
We will. So the review of the game, Crows set themselves all week for Sydney and Sydney, a team that hadn't beaten Timmy for 5 years. They had Berry Tahini at all stoppage. I thought he was great. Keys to Blakey. I think he only had 9 touches up to three-quarter time. Keys got plenty of it. And both of them were superb. There were other matchups, but the high half forwards, Alex Neil-Bullen, Josh Worrell and Keys, all in the votes. Their work rate, their running patterns are very Brisbane-like. And we had a caller before about Murray Davis. Here's Matty Nix on Sydney and Sydney.
We knew Sydney would come out hard, and we had to match that, and I thought our guys did a fantastic job. The way we started the game, just really pressured them as much as possible, and then we were able to get the game on our terms, and it was a really even, balanced performance across the board. You know, I'm trying to think through who our standouts were, and from a coaching point of view, that's the most pleasing part of the performance was, you know, everyone contributed.
That's when they play their best. Most teams are like that. They had 70 inside 50s, do you mind, for 21 goals, 14 different goal kickers. A lot of those goals were in 30 metres out directly in front. That's why Sydney were a rabble. They were an absolute rabble.
You definitely get the ball deep.
You do. 15 tackles inside 50, 10 of them were marks. That midfield-forward transition, even last year when they finished 15th and before, has been a good trademark of Nick's. He has got a great connection because he's got great forwards inside that 50. So offensively, they were elite. Kick 14 goals, 4 from turnover, 7-1 from stoppage. Tells you that they've got their game in order, Timmy, doesn't it? Their structures, their shape, everyone's involved, everyone knows their role and they play it. Maybe Matty Nick's spray he did at training in the week. We saw that on Channel 9 or 7, I think it was, a bit of cold baked beans out the can.
Well, that's what
Proves
you love.
It works.
You love cold baked beans.
Oh, mate.
You thrive on them.
Have you ever had it?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong.
I can eat it.
Cold baked beans out the can.
I don't mind it.
It's got to be a staple diet from here. Here's Matty Nix on their ability to execute.
Tonight, to come prepared for that, but then execute was the part that is the most pleasing. We'll sit down together shortly and have a discussion through that, and make sure we enjoy it, but understand, you know, it's you've got to bring that level every week when you play the best sides.
So there's an old saying, when you've got it, when they've got it, when no one's got it. They got every bit of that in order. When no one had it, their pressure on Sydney was just next level. And vice versa. Don't think Sydney turned the toes up. There were times in the game where Seven put that pressure gauge on. What's that thing?
Yep.
They were both over 240. They were just superb. They both cracked in. So for Crows to execute like that with a team that's giving you pressure was terrific. It's just the fact that they were a rabble. Now, in this little prelude, I've done this 3 times, they were a rabble. So let's put it in perspective. Melbourne beat the Rebel the week before. So you're not jumping around going, woohoo, popping corks and champagne.
No.
But it was a great win. As I said, over 200 pressure acts as an average across the game. Matty Nix spoke about that.
Thought we brought contest as good as we had done. You know, mindful, it's tough to do that every week. You know, I thought our guys were outstanding tonight. So we did bring pressure to a team that, you know, they want to move the ball off half back and they want to take you on through the corridor. And I would say if there's been, let's say there's been 8 games up here over the last 6 years we've played them in, they've done that to us more often than not. So it's nice to get one on our terms this time.
Well, there's been a number of texts come through potting me. Oh, Rowey, you beat the 16th team, the 17th team, the 15th team, the 14th, the 13th, you know, Port with 15. Mate, wait till you beat a 1 or 2 team. They are right. It is all elementary, my dear Watson. Who said that?
Well, that was Sherlock Holmes.
It was too.
Yeah.
Elementary, my dear Watson. It will be that because the Crows have to bring it versus the Lions at home Friday night. And I am so looking forward to this
game. But all you can do is prepare. And every other game has been a preparation for that.
That's right.
And you've got an opportunity now, take on the reigning premier at home
They've got to
Friday
tick
night.
that box.
It's a hairy chess match.
It's a Timmy. It's more than a hairy chess match.
Yeah.
They have to tick this box for all those people to say, yeah, they are now true contenders. I think we're contenders for the 8. Are we contenders for top 4? And can we be contenders for the flag? There's a lot
These
of
are the
water.
sort of games that give you
have to
a bit of credit.
That's the word. That's the word. I'm looking forward to it. Here's Nick's in, so is he.
We're locked in now on Brizzy, but I mean, we'll enjoy this win and we'll stick together tonight and talk through that. But we'll move on pretty quickly and try and find a way to bring something similar next week, because we're going to have to do that and some against, probably the best team in the comp, if not one of them.
Well, it's time for Murray Davis to shine. He knows the Lions inside and out. He's got all the IP. He'll be preparing now. And it's a collective. It's not just on Murray, but he's got the IP. I am so looking forward to Friday night. My phone is rung off the hook for friends I haven't talked to for years wanting tickets for this game. You won't be able to get one. Maybe if you listen to us, we might be able to give you away some. Are we?
Don't think so.
That felt
I don't know
flat.
where you're going to find them.
I cannot wait for this
It'll be
Friday
huge,
night game.
yeah. And I think it's going to be...
This is the test.
All clear, track fast. Should be a nice night for it. So
all of that.
Absolutely
well done.
sensational.
Anyway,
Oh,
that's
well
mine.
done.
So I'm not popping champagnes or lifting lids or doing anything like that. I told you I'm in the quaddie.
Yep.
We've got 2 legs up, 2 to go, Timmy. But boy, oh boy, wow, like I said on the brekkie this morning, there'll be more than me lifting off if we can get through 4-4.
Look out, Brussels sprout.
All right, let's do this.
Like, love, loathe.
I loathe you.
Tell us what you liked, loved or loathed from the weekend of sport. Call him now. 8223 0000.
Well, I like that I had Saturday and Sunday off. Didn't have to call any football whatsoever, so that was nice. I did like that, but on the Sunday I just popped down to the Lakes Hotel and had a look at the big screen, and, we've been interviewing the Steelers about the Rugby World Challenge that was on. It was on the massive screen.
Oh, did they win?
And watched the whole thing. They went down.
Oh,
they went down the
damn.
Netherlands in the gold medal match and won silver. But, geez, it's a good game to watch. It really is a good
Very
game to watch.
exciting,
I
isn't it?
suggest if you ever get the chance, have a look. It is sensational. So I like that. I love the fact that Oscar Piastri won the Spanish GP because, like I said, I don't think he's about breaking Australian records. He is about focused to win the championship. And I would love to see that because he's going to be an absolute superstar moving forward, if he's not already. And what I loathe? I was watching the Super Netball. Of course, our T-Birds went down by 2 points. I'm not happy with the 2-pointers in the last 5 minutes. In the Super Ring, they get 2 points. And I'll tell you what, some of the girls can shoot a 2-pointer. But it just seems to me that you can have a really good lead that you've established completely eroded because they've got a better 2-pointer shooter than you. And we went down by 2 points. I wasn't happy with it, and maybe I'm just whinging.
Maybe. Maybe.
But I loathe it. I don't like it.
Okay. We'd love to hear yours too. Like, love, loathe. 8223 0000. Got that $50 Powers voucher. I'll start with the love. Manny Pacquiao, we all know him as the Pac-Man, is coming out of a 4-year retirement.
No.
He is coming out of retirement.
He's got to be 50.
46.
Wow.
This is set under the radar because he's way up in the Philippines government. Like he basically...
they love him.
Oh,
He
God,
is like
he's the
a
best.
god in their country.
As good a boxer as I've seen pound for pound in the height of his day, he just hasn't been able to retire. That bug just still bites. Anyway, they've given him a WC championship belt match versus Mario Barrios, who's a lot bigger than him. It's going to be at the Grand MGM in Las Vegas.
Oh, wow.
The date is going to be the 19th of July. Now, that's enough to get me in a plane and go over there with you, Timmy, and we should do the sports show.
Oh, great
But that's
idea.
not the main reason.
No, but it sounded good.
On the undercard, Tim Zhu has got his much-awaited rematch with Sebastian Fundora.
Oh, wow.
Remember Sebastian beat him?
Yeah.
So he's been at him and at him and at him. Give me a rematch, give me a rematch. I think it might have been in the contract. Well, it's on that card
Wow.
for the WBC Super welterweight title. Tim went over to the Philippines and trained with Matty, and it's as fit as he's ever been. I reckon he can win that. There you go.
Wow.
Wouldn't you love to go to Vegas for that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I might not turn up, but that's all right. I do like Vegas.
You weren't good in Vegas, were you? Yeah, I wasn't good in Vegas either. I like the fact that Nick Kyrgios is still not playing tennis. But what I don't like, which is my loathe with this, Alex Poprin was our last Australian in the French Open.
I watched it
He
last
lost in the fourth round. Our tennis needs a star, men or women.
Yeah.
Maybe both.
Well, we had Ash Barty, of course, and Ash
There you go.
decided enough's enough.
Ash,
And
Ash,
probably
come out of
retired a bit
retirement.
early for our liking, but she's gone on to have a family, and what a champion she was. Played BBL cricket as well, and what a talent.
Who's the next kids coming through?
Well, Alex de Minaur's our number one seed at the moment. He's the 9th in the world, but he got knocked out in the second round, unfortunately.
He is all right, but
he's a hard worker, isn't he?
I love him. He's a grinder.
You'd love to have a bit of him in Kyrgios.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Combo.
Hello, Shane.
Yeah, g'day, lads. I'll have to, Port Adelaide didn't play, so I'll have to take on the Adelaide Football Club. My likes were the performance by Keane. I thought his intercept marks back and his maturity in his game was just fantastic. My love was obviously the Rochelle knock on to Keys, just sublime. But you could take your pick in that game. There were so many highlights. Even that boundary line run from Pedler to handball to Rankin, worked that little his shoulders to get rid of Heaney onto Bullen to Neil Bullen to kick a goal. Just insane. And my loathe is the media. You know, every time Adelaide looks like they're about to poke their head up and take on and looking good, you got people like Rewalt trying to drag the club down. You know, by saying something Miller was disrespectful. Lyons, we probably didn't hear it, but Lyons said during the game that Rochelle should be fined for staging to draw that 50 metres. It's like, can you guys talk about some of the highlights rather than trying to drag this club down every time they look like they're coming up for air?
No, I like it, Sean. I'll give you a $50 pounds voucher. I didn't like Rochelle flopping, but I don't like that. I just don't like that full stop.
He got the 50, though, didn't he?
Look, he got the 50. He got underneath Rampy's grill. But, you know, I think they call that gamesmanship, but there's gamesmanship, sportsmanship, and being a footballer.
I think two things happened. One, he got a free kick that looked a bit soft, and then he's got in his face. Then he's, just touched his chest. He's fallen over. He's got the 50. You're having a bad day, aren't you?
God, he had a good game, Rochelle.
Share your calls with us. It's our Monday footy review, 8223 0000. Let's check your traffic around Adelaide.
G'day there in the Parklands. A crash to look out for today. Bartels Road near to Kettleville Terrace. Holden Hill, Burst Watermay, North East Road, just near Grand Junction Road with a couple of lanes out of action, so she's pretty slow there. And also got a couple of lanes out of action at Salisbury East as they fix urgent sewer works there. Bridge Road near McIntyre Road. Cameras, Aylofs Road, St Mary's and Brooker Terrace at Richmond. Arm yourself to relieve symptoms of cold and flu with Bioceuticals Armour Force. Available at Chemist Warehouse. Chemist Warehouse, great savings every day. Always follow the directions for use. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
You could win $1 million. The countdown is on. You have just 4 days to get your early bird tickets in the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery for your chance to win $1 million. Plus, your tickets stay in more than 11,000 draws, giving you a 1 in 15 chance to win. Hurry, the early bird deadline is midnight Friday. Life-changing prizes, life-changing impact. homelottery.com.au. Licence M14727.
Hi, Pretty Bit here for Mawson Lakes Mazda. With all the end of financial year deals we've got going, you really should be here too. All makes, models and colours are being cleared, no exceptions. And there's a huge range of low-K demos, all ready for immediate delivery. Plus, you'll get free on-roads, free stamp duty, free 12-month rego and $500 worth of accessories. No gimmicks, just great deals. Mawson Lakes Mazda, Salisbury Highway, T's and C's apply.
Zoom Zoom, BJ Energy, Adelaide solar and battery specialist, will help you squeeze every bit of juice and energy out of that sun.
Good idea. And if there's anything you need to know about the federal battery rebate, well, how it works and whether you're eligible, the team at BJ Energy are all over it.
When they've done the homework for you, you just pass the test, don't you? Because they've done that, which means they can help you get the most out of your battery rebate while it's still around.
And remember, BJ Energy don't have a room full of sick salespeople pressuring folks into poor quality solar and battery package deals that they don't need or want. They are very hands-on, even installing quality systems themselves.
I love hands-on. I love that approach. That celebrates and separates BJ Energy from the other solar and battery providers.
Get in touch with BJ Energy now and ask about the federal battery rebate. While it's still available. Hey, no sales pitch there. Just straight answers. Visit bjenergy.com.au.
Hello. Frank Walker from National Tiles. National Tiles' famous once-a-year May Mayhem event must end tomorrow. Spend $1,000 and we'll only charge you $750. Or spend $2,000 and we'll only charge you $1,450. That's right. Spend $2,000 and we'll only charge you $1,450. But it absolutely must end tomorrow. So rush into National Tiles now and save. Conditions apply.
Our place is your place at the Albion Hotel. We're big on celebrations, so bring the whole family and let the kids loose to explore our massive outdoor playground. Every day is Schnitzel Day at the Albion. Loyalty members that have downloaded the Albion app enjoy discounts and rewards on food and drinks every day of the week. And if you're on the go, we've got you covered in our Thirsty Camel drive-through bottle shop. The Albion Hotel. Your local, your people, your place.
At Austrac Campers, we never stop innovating. We listen, learn and adapt, making sure our campers are always ready for what's next. Built for the future of Aussie adventures.
Austrac
Campers.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
8 minutes to 5, we'll speak to the Adelaide Crow, Josh Worrell, after 5 o'clock tonight. 8223 0000 is the number to call in. It's our Monday footy review. Get anything off your chest from the weekend of sport. And if you'd like to watch from the very best spot in the Beer and Barbecue Festival for the VIP seating for the Crows game against Brisbane on the weekend, on Friday night, you can get these tickets right here, right now. The Beer and Barbecue Fest is an amazing spot.
Really?
It is their Friday knockoffs here, and we've got the 5AA VIP space with some beers and barbecue food to give you. So if you want to head along and watch it from a great seat, Timmy G will be there, Tommy Wren's there.
I'll get there as soon as possible because we're
Pembo there.
We're obviously doing the Brisbane game. We'll do our show from the Adelaide Oval, and then I'll shoot off straight away.
Bang.
Down
In the
to
tram.
Beer and
Outstanding.
Yes, that's definitely on the tram.
Yeah, very good. Call in now, 8223 0055. It is across the King's birthday weekend. You get tickets at beerbarbecuefest.com.au.
Okay, hello, Trev at Seaford.
G'day, mate. Listen, did you notice Rewalt after the game?
No.
He was walking towards the boundary and he turned his microphone off because I don't think the Swans supporters were saying, bit unlucky, guys. We're glad. We'll support you. I don't think they were saying that. So he turned his microphone off.
Jack Rewalt.
Right.
Oh.
He was not at the game.
Oh, you might be thinking Nick.
Nick.
Yeah, Nick. Yeah, it was Jack that made the comments about...
Nick wasn't at the game either. It wasn't a 7 game.
Miller. It wasn't a 7 game?
No.
Oh, well, there
it was
you
a
go.
Fox game.
Which game were you watching, Trev?
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Which week was it?
No, that's all right. But they have a go at the Crows all the time. But one thing I'll tell you about the game, it reminded me that at the 98 grand final, when they were saying where the Crows going to get their goal scorers from, they only had 5 guys at the side that kicked 5 goals in a match. Right? So, and this is a similar game. They had 18 players. They all could have kicked goals. It's one of the full-backs and come down and kick one.
Yeah, well, we were doing a call. So there's been 3 times in an AFL/VFL game where there's been 15 different goal kickers. Crows had 14.
Ooh.
So we were rooting for Keeney to come down or Butsy or Joshy Worrell. So we'll say that to Joshy.
Wow, that's a lot.
14.
Well, he had an opportunity.
He did.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can
went off the
only
side of the boot.
you can only do that when the opposition's a rebel. Hello, Craig.
Ooh.
G'day, gentlemen. How are you?
Good, thank you, Craig.
In regards to Wayne Miller's comment, okay, that's fine. If he thought that's what he saw, well, sometimes you've got to get involved in a little bit of brinksmanship and be a bit smarter about your comments. And just one other thing that I've heard, did you know that Sydney have changed their club song?
What to?
The Harbour Bridge is falling down.
Oh, that's all right.
It's not bad, actually.
That was about the London Bridge, wasn't it? That is witty.
Quite witty.
Love
I
it,
like that,
Craig. Love it. Here's one. What are the odds that Scoop-de-Doo raises the rebel comment at Footy Classified? Of course he will.
Oh, that's a gift.
Because that's his wheelhouse.
That is an absolute...
And it's Crows. He loves potting the Crows.
That's happening.
So don't bother watching. There you go. Save yourself some time.
All right, we're going to get to the 5 o'clock news. Very soon we'll hear from Josh Worrell from the Crows, Ollie Wines after 5 o'clock as well, and more of your calls. It's our Monday footy review, 8223 0000.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Is your tech causing chaos? You need Gigs to You. Got a constantly crashing computer, weak Wi-Fi, problematic printer? Our fast and friendly gigs are available to come to you. No fix, no fee, Gigs guarantee. Gigs to You, part of Officeworks.
Adelaide's local, trusted and truly connected talkback radio station. 5AA, always Adelaide.
The Kia Cerato set the bar as Kia's most popular small sedan. Now, the new first-ever Kia K4 raises it. Best-in-class second-row legroom, ultra-wide screens and a GT line that comes turbocharged. Enter Kia's biggest small sedan, the Kia K4. Small sedan, big personality. Test drive today or find out more at kia.com.au.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Introducing Marook, the latest masterpiece from Selector Homes. This stunning two-storey pole-frame home features 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, offering open and spacious living areas. Marook is perfect for riverfront, seaside and hillside properties. Enjoy the decking beneath the main roof, ideal for outdoor relaxation. Selector Homes embrace innovation, utilising the latest building materials. Visit selectorhomes.com.au or visit their display centre at Burton.
Look, it's great to have mates that help you out, and especially if they have a trailer or a van or something like that. But when they don't have it available, what do you do then? I'll tell you what you do. You need a mate like Matty from Avis Truck Rental Adelaide.
And he throws his friendship around willy-nilly. You don't have to be close to him. Just mention his name and mention Avis Truck Rental, and he'll give you the best deal.
Tell him we sent you.
Yeah. Avis Truck Rental Adelaide's always ready to help. Now, whether you're moving house, picking something up from 9 to 10, planning a family trip, up the Barossa, off to Melbourne, it doesn't matter. Adelaide Truck Rental Adelaide, Avis that is, has you covered. And look, the 5AA deal.
Yeah,
it's
a fixed price. It's absolutely sensational. And the thing about it, these vehicles are quite amazing. I couldn't believe how easy they were to drive. Even on my own driver's licence, I don't have a Class 2. So it's important to know that.
I have a B-double.
Oh, there you go.
I can drive a big Kenworth K200.
Wow. You better talk to Matty.
Scania, Volvo FH 600s.
You better trust your mate, Matty.
Matty's
Absolutely.
the man. Trust your mate, Matty, at Avis Truck Rental Adelaide. He is just a ripper. Great company. 3 or 4 generation now they've owned it. Now, you think of Avis, you think, oh, it's a multinational. Yeah, the brand is, but it's owned by locals that love you and love Adelaide. So jump online at avis.com.au or call him now. He'll be on the phone, 8241 5200.
Kangaroo Island. It's closer than you think. Wilder than you know. More than you imagined. This winter, get a free night on selected 3 and 4 night stays. Book your Kangaroo Island ferry and accommodation at sealink.com.au or call 13 13 01 today. Terms and conditions apply.
Here's a stat you need to hear. Literally, 1 in 6 Australians are living with some sort of hearing loss. It's hard to notice because it creeps up on you, but it doesn't have to get in the way of things. Not if you do something about it now. Can Do Hearing can provide solutions to make living with hearing loss so much better. And your options are almost endless. Book an appointment with Can Do Hearing. candohearing.com.au. That sounds better.
It's the end of financial year, so take stock of the savings and get a great break at Tyre Power. Buy 3 and get 1 free on selected Toyo tyres, but only until June 30 at Tyre Power's end of financial year sale. Visit tyrepower.com.au.
The news and information that matters. This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Down to 10 tonight, a shower or two tomorrow, 17. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher.
Beat the winter rush today and make sure your home is comfortable all year round with Mannix.
2 men have been arrested over a machete attack in a city apartment. A 16-year-old, 27 and 31-year-old were found with stab wounds at the Altitude Apartments near Morford Street early this morning. The 27-year-old has been charged with a fray and 4 counts of assault. A 25-year-old has been charged with a fray and assault, and they'll front court tomorrow. It was not a random incident. Police Commissioner Grant Stevens says it's unclear exactly what transpired.
The investigation is still ongoing. We don't have clarity in terms of exactly what's transpired in the unit.
The first 12 months of Operation Storm has seen 311 people arrested and 73 reported for domestic violence offences. Stage 4 of the operation, running between April and May, saw 66 arrests across the 2-week period. Police say they'll continue to check on high-risk individuals and monitor compliance of bail and intervention orders. Accused triple murderer Erin Patterson opened up about how she felt in July 2023, the month of the fatal mushroom lunch, as she gave evidence at her trial this afternoon in Victoria. Her lawyer had asked her what wasn't going well. Ms Patterson told the court she had low self-esteem because of her weight and she planned to have gastric bypass surgery. Members of the Patterson and Wilkinson families, including lunch survivor Ian Wilkinson, were in court. Erin Patterson, who is accused of murdering 3 relatives by serving them a beef Wellington meal that contained death cap mushrooms, will return to the witness box tomorrow. Labor says it's open to increasing Australia's defence budget amid pressure from the US, but won't say how much more it's prepared to spend. More from Zach De Silva.
The United States wants Australia to increase defence spending by around $40 billion a year as soon as possible. It argues the investment would help counter China's growing presence in our region. The government is open to spending more, but Prime Minister Anthony Albanese says he won't choose an arbitrary number.
What you should do is decide what you need, your capability, and then provide for it.
The opposition's James Patterson says we shouldn't be dictated to by the US, but the Defence Force clearly needs more money.
Right now, we're not spending enough to defend ourselves.
Mr Albanese will likely discuss the issue with the US President when the pair meet for the first time later this month.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
At Barossa Valley Volkswagen, you can take a real test drive. BarossaVolkswagen.com.au.
The Crows are keen to put Rabblegate behind them as they look to Friday night's home game against the Lions. Alex Neil-Bullen says Brisbane will be a challenge.
For Brisbane, I guess they're a team that play in a lot of big games. I'm sure, speaking on behalf of the group, a lot of the boys would watch a bit of their footy because they're a team that everyone wants to aspire to be like. And for us now to get that opportunity, it's a great opportunity for us as a group, young players and older players, to come together and show that level of maturity.
Porter back from the bye to face the Giants on Saturday. Ollie Wines says they know what needs work as they kick off the second half of their season.
We've certainly identified a few areas and we'll be looking to work on them. They're more individual fixes we have to do ourselves to be in games and mentally play games out, whether that's in the contest or defensively be a little bit quicker. So they're not major things, but when you don't have majority of the group doing it, it adds up pretty quick.
GWS's Callan Ward will undergo a knee reconstruction after confirmation he tore his ACL on the weekend. Collingwood's Ed Allen is the AFL Rising Star nominee for round 12. And Brisbane Chief Executive Greg Swan will leave the Lions next month to take up a role at the AFL. The ex-Collingwood and Carlton boss will return to Melbourne to take up the newly created position created after Laura Kane's role was split in 2. Glenn Maxwell has retired from one-day international cricket effective immediately. And in tennis, Novak Djokovic is in round 4 action at the French Open tonight. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Whether your block's the size of Adelaide Oval or the Gold Square, customise your build with Sterling Homes.
In the Parklands, a crash, Bartels Road near Catterville Terrace, causing quite solid delays through there. Holden Hill, burst Watermain, North East Road near Grand Junction Road, 2 lanes closed, so she's busy there. And Salisbury East, urgent Silbury Works, Bridge Road near McIntyre Road. Camera 2 tonight, Military Road at West Beach. The biggest Reddit sale is on now at Flight Centre. Save over $2,000 with Intrepid Tours. Hurry, ends Friday. Don't miss out. Book now at Flight Centre. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota forklift advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Partly cloudy tonight, down to 10. A shower or two tomorrow, 17. Sunny and 16 on Wednesday. Thursday, a shower or two, 18. Right now, it's 19 degrees. Now let's see what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Raglas. Tonight, a city hotel turned crime scene. 3 stabbed, 1 critical. The simple shake that lowers your risk of heart disease. Thunderstorms, cyclones, volcanoes. We take a look at the airline nerve centre that keeps us all safe. And can the Crows continue their red-hot run? Tonight, the inside word from Rory Sloan. 9 News. Your news. 9th at 6 on 9 and on 9 Now.
Setting the agenda for South Australia. This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
Welcome back. It is 6 minutes after 5 and it's our Monday footy review. Port fans will speak to Ollie Wines very shortly. He's coming up at 5:30 this evening. We'll speak Formula One. Oscar Piastri, 5 wins from 9 races. He is dominating at the moment at leading the championship. We'll speak to Michael Laminato after 6 and we'll take your calls. 8223 0000 is the number to call. And remember, you can watch the show live on the Ranella Hyundai live stream. They're on Facebook and YouTube on our 5AA socials. But right now, let's get down to West Lakes. All thanks to our major Crows partner here on 5AA, Sterling Homes. Whether your block's the size of Adelaide Oval or the goal square, you can customise your build with Sterling Homes.
You most certainly can, and the Crows absolutely smashed Sydney, smashed them, and joining us, one of our favourites, Josh Worrell. Joshy, welcome.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
God, can I start with you? You're having a belter of a season.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, it's been good to put a little bit of form together at the moment. I'm hoping I can keep going in the back end of the season.
Well, you've got some real confidence in team security, and some blokes take that with both hands, and you have. Do you feel that?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. But I think a lot of it comes what's happening up the field. I mean, there's a lot of pressure on the footy at the moment. We're playing some good footy, which definitely makes our life as defenders a lot easier.
Yeah. Well, and I think also continuity. I know Muzz is out, but Butchie's in. He just took off where he left off. You got Keeney there, and God, what a game he had. 10 intercept marks, I think he had in the end.
Yeah, Keeney is turning into a great player. I was saying, I was in the sauna with him last night. I was saying, imagine how good you'd be if you played since you were a kid. So, no, he's in some ripping form, and hopefully he can keep it going.
Well, laid out, Smith in, he kicks a goal. God.
What was that for?
Well, Lairdy goes out and Smithy comes in and kicks a goal and stars like he did in the showdown. It's going to be bloody hard to leave him out again.
Yeah, I know. It's really good having that depth. I mean, you love playing with Smitty. You know what he's going to bring, so... Yeah, I'm glad I'm not making that choice on when selection comes out.
Now, you're a smart man. Gee, they were a rabble, weren't they? Don't answer that. Here's Timmy.
He just about put you in that.
I'm looking after
Don't you
him.
dare do that. Hey, it was a convincing win, wasn't it? I just think one of the things I noticed, Josh, was there was a lot of guys getting out of tackles and, somehow slipping their way through. I don't know if you had a lot of the oil on the shoulders or what, but then you were getting out of that and then kicking it to targets with precision.
Yeah, it felt like it was a surprisingly wet night up in Sydney with the dew, and it kind of felt like wet weather footy, and we were just, really clean, which, was noticeable. On the night, especially playing, we were able to use our hands a bit more, and then able to use our kicks and hit some of the big boys up forward.
I thought one of the best examples of that was in the third quarter. Isaac Rankin on the boundary line just got through one somehow, and then got through the second somehow, and then this little give over to Alex Neil-Bullen who finished off the goal, and it was like something out of nothing, and that's what you've been able to create.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a bit of ranks, though. I mean, he's a special player. He can do that sort of stuff. But, there was definitely a few instances with throughout the game of us, breaking a few tackles and able to hit a few targets inside.
Number 1 for scores for, number 2 for scores against is outstanding. The best percentage. You're sitting in the top 4. You've got your turnover game going as a team. D50, F50. Josh, 14 goals from turnover.
Yeah, I mean, it helps when you have really good ball users in terms of the halfbacks, Maxi, Hingy, Smithy, Lairdy and stuff, and then, yeah, you're able to give it to some absolutely gun midfielders that I guess make the forwards look pretty good as well.
The record's 15 different goal kickers in an AFL game. You guys had 14. Boy, we were rooting for you to get that last goal,
well,
Josh.
He had a chance there.
Yeah.
What happened there, mate?
I did. I don't know. I almost panicked. I reckon. I did hear Rochelle go "no way" in the corner of my ear when I had a shot. So I think all the boys are a bit surprised. But no, hopefully we'll get one day. We'll wait and see though.
Have you kicked? You haven't kicked one yet.
No, I haven't kicked one yet. So I'm waiting for it.
Mate, you got to sniff a bit. Watch what Smithy does. And
clever.
Dan Houston, you got to be a sniffer. You're not a sniffer, are you?
I'm not. Well, Ranks gave me one in the pre-season, but ever since then I haven't really got near the goals.
Oh, well, that's okay. You keep doing what you're doing in the back half. We were talking about a couple of things out of the game. We'll get to Junior shortly, but Josh Rochelli's little soccer kick out to the feet of Keys to run into a goal. This is how we called it.
Oh, Rochelli! He did a kick on the outside of the boot with a one-touch soccer that looked like he should have been playing in the A-League Grand Final, and Keys has kicked the goal. What a highlight!
Now, you know it's not a flick. I played with a bloke by the name of Tony Modron. Some of his skills below his knees with his soccering at training was absolutely elite. So when it was in a game and he kicked them, we'd all go, well, yeah, he does it every week on the training track. Josh Rochelli the same?
Yeah, for sure. Rochelli does some crazy things with the footy at training. But, yeah, I mean, I was sitting on the bench and I didn't really appreciate how good it was until I saw it, a replay after the game. I was like, that's one of the more incredible things I've seen on a football field. Just the way he's done that, yeah. Only Rash could do it, I reckon.
There was a review in the second term. Peatling or Thilthorpe? Who got the foot to it? I reckon Peatling had that unbelievable shot. Probably deserved the goal. But did Riley get a little toe to it or something? Did he get that goal?
Yeah, I think Riley got a toe to it. But I think Riley thought that it might have been touched by one of the Sydney players on the way in.
Right. So he made sure.
He stuck the foot out and luckily enough it paid off. So, I mean, you've got to get lucky sometimes.
Yeah, no apology. What about Riley himself? I love the way, because it's not a ground for centre-half forwards as such. He came right up the ground at times to be a lead up for you, and then inside 50 as well. Gee whiz, he's clunking them really well under pressure. Yeah,
for sure. I think it's probably one of Riley's underrated strengths is his fitness. I mean, he's one of our best runners at our club in terms of the 2K. And then, yeah, his ability, once we get him inside 50 and use him, he just takes everything at the moment. He's got big mitts.
He has. He's been superb. Actually, a lot of you are having career best seasons. Friday night goes up a gear, the Lions.
Yeah, looking forward to it. It should be a really good hit out. We obviously want to test ourselves against some of the better teams. So, yeah, we're really excited for it. Looking like it might be a bit wet, but that'll be all right. Yeah,
Murray Davis has bought some IP. A lot of footy scribes, and we've got one, Campo, looks at your ball movement, how you structure up, and even the fact now that Rankin and Jordan Dawson swap out of the box, very similar to what they do with a couple of their players in McCluggage and Bailey. What's he going to bring this week for the forward scouting, and how good's he been for the group, Murray Davis?
Muzz gave us, obviously with West Brizzy in the pre-season, so yeah, gave us great insight to how they play and what he brings. I mean, he just brought a whole level of like almost calmness to the group. He speaks to you on an individual level while taking a bit of control upstairs in the box, obviously. So I think all the boys are really enjoying what he's bringing, and kind of adds a different string to our bow that we probably haven't had in the past.
Yeah, well done. Who will you get on the weekend?
I'm not sure. I usually match up against Cam Rayner when we verse Brizzy, but I'm not 100% sure at the moment.
Okay, doesn't matter who you're playing, you'll give him an absolute bath with a bit of luck. Now, Riley O'Brien is our weekly guest, and I do know your dog, as you know, Josh, because he's had a little snoop around with little Jimmy's dog over the years, and I threw it to Riley O'Brien, and here was his response.
He's not a great owner, for one, and the dog's not great either. So.
See? That is so true, and I'm glad you said it.
Yeah, he's just got himself sorted. I reckon he's probably too soon for two dogs.
They're fighting words. You're not a good dog owner and you need 2 dogs.
Rowey, that's incredible. I can't believe that from Birdo. I saw him in the sauna not too long after the radio, and he said to me, I was just speaking about you on radio. I was like, what was it about? Oh, no, nothing. Don't worry about it. I can't believe that. That is incredible from Big Birdo.
Yeah, they're fighting words on you're not a good dog owner. I mean, that is, I don't think you get, a dog is a man's best friend. And I know how much you love your dog, but he is a little bit.
Do you need to go on that show? You know, dogs behaving badly? Is that what you need?
Bro, she was 6 months old.
Yeah.
You've got to give her a spell.
Bit flighty. It was a bit flighty, Josh.
Hey, Josh, we've got a unique home-style food text here contributing to the show. They said, I just asked Josh, how long were you guys waiting for lifts at your hotel?
Yeah, the lifts at the hotel were not the best lifts going around. We were trying to leave to the airport. We were meant to leave at till 10:30. Some of the boys weren't able to get down to the ground floor till about 10:45, 10:50ish because the lifts were no good. So it was a bit of a pain in the arse, to be honest with you, but these things happen.
Well, you won by 90-plus points at Sydney. Hey, before we let you go, Rory Sloan, ex-teammate of yours, on TV, said it's the best win he can remember under Matty Nix. Would you subscribe to that?
I don't know. We've had some good wins over the years. I'd say it's in my top 5, but yeah, it's definitely a really good win. I think it settles a lot of our nerves, and we show the brand of footy that we want to play for hopefully a long time.
Can you believe us media bullfeds bringing up Junior's comment immediately after a win with radio headphones on after singing the song, and it's such a story? As a footballer, what do you say when you look at that? He just called it as it was. They were a rebel.
I don't think Junior meant it like that, to be honest. If you knew Junior as a person, you know he's a really nice person, down to earth. I don't think he would intentionally mean it the way it came out. So, obviously these things happen.
Yeah, worse luck. Now, Josh, keep up that form. It'll all mean nothing, that win, if you can't do it against quality teams, and you're certainly going to have one of those Friday night. Brisbane reigning premiers, they're on top of their game. Cannot wait. It'll be a sold-out stadium. And, mate, keep up your form, and thanks for your time.
Perfect. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
See you, Josh.
Work. Hasn't he come on? Last year we saw what he is. Yeah. This year he's gone another level. You think about how many Crows are having close to their best seasons. I mean, you'd have to put Dawson there because I know he's All-Australian best and fairest, but he's looking like being a Brownlow. Rankin, Worrell, Riley O'Brien, All-Australian. Rochelle's gone next level. I can nearly go through the whole list. A lot of those
lads in the back six played a lot of sample together as well.
They did.
And I think it moulded them and they knew one another.
Their continuity.
So when they came up, it was like, I've played with you a lot, so no dramas.
He's had to be patient, Josh, and he's taken it with 2 hands. He's a ripper.
He's been outstanding. It's 18 minutes after 5, and it's all thanks to our great friends at Sterling Homes. Whether your block is the size of Adelaide Oval or the goal square, you can customise your build any way you like with Sterling Homes. Let's check your traffic around Adelaide.
Afternoon in the Parklands, a crash by Tells Road near Decatable Terrace causing a few delays. Holden Hill also got delays there with the burst water main North East Road near Grand Junction Road, and a couple of lanes out of action at Salisbury East due to sewer works getting fixed at the moment. Bridge Road near McIntyre Road. Cameras, Chief Street, Brompton, and Military Road at West Beach. Get what you really want with Ford's drive away deals like the Ranger Wild Track model year 25.25 from 70k drive away. Recommended price at participating dealers. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
What makes an iconic South Australian business? It's a special combination showcased in 5AA's Best of SA.
You've heard of the Care Alert Smart Dialer, a family-run business right here in South Australia. This device is the perfect way to provide your family with peace of mind and protect loved ones should an accident or illness occur. Over 100,000 people enjoy peace of mind with a Care Alert Smart Dialer.
The Best of SA, thanks to major sponsor Ray White Business Sales and Adelaide's 5AA.
Budget? Signed. Presentation? Updated. Outfits? Business casual. Flights? Booked. We are so ready for this meeting at 4 p.m. It's 9 a.m. You sure?
When you fly for business with Virgin Australia, make changes to your flight stress-free and fee-free with a flex fare. So, take off with the airline keeping you on schedule. Book your next business trip with Virgin Australia. Fair rules and T's and C's apply.
Steinborner Automotive in Gawler, Barossa and Clare has always been well worth a trip, especially with their end of financial year sale on over 500 new, used and demo cars, including a great range of new and demo Ford Rangers at heavily reduced prices. Plus, they're offering an additional $1,500 trade-in bonus on all trade-ins. Head to Steinborner Ford in Clare or view the whole range at steinborner.com.au. Steinborner Automotive. It's well worth a trip.
1975. How long ago was that?
50 years.
50 years. Sterling Homes has been setting the standard. That's a long time in business. And now, to celebrate their 50th anniversary, they're inviting you to share your dream with them.
Great company too. Sterling Homes, you get 15 grand's worth of luxury upgrades your way, no extra cost. Choose what matters to you. It could be a reverse cycle air conditioner, stone bench tops, solar panels and more, plus 2.7 metre high ceilings. They're all included.
Sounds good. Sterling Homes builds on blocks of all shapes and sizes. It doesn't matter if it's as big as Adelaide Oval or just the Gold Square, because at Sterling Homes, your home.
Visit their display homes. They're right across this state. This is right across Adelaide. For locations, go to sterlinghomes.com.au. T's and C's apply.
Make your next business or social event unforgettable at the newly upgraded Spheris. Have your next meeting, private or corporate functions in one of 5 unique spaces, featuring natural light, parkland views and in-house AV for a seamless experience. Choose from the chic Paradiso Bar, modern studio or grand marquee and starlight rooms, whether for 30 or 350 guests. We tailor every detail to your needs and budget. And enjoy complimentary parking and luxury spa accommodation. Find out more at spheris.com.
Come on in.
We open our doors to people we trust and care about. And for over 90 years, South Australians have been opening their doors to Rest Haven. In turn, we've been opening doors to an easier, better life at home. From personal care to help with the shopping and social outings, you'll welcome the care that Rest Haven brings.
Here's another top tyre tip from Tyre Power. Before you go on a road trip, make sure you run a few tyre safety checks. If in doubt, give the experts a shout at Tyre Power. Visit tyrepower.com.au or call 13 21 91 for your local independent owner.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
23 minutes after 5, our Monday footy review will feature Ollie Wines at 5:30, so don't miss that, Port fans. But right now we are taking your calls. Get it off your chest. Tell us your thoughts and opinions from the weekend. What did you see? What did you like? 8223 0000.
Yeah, just one here. Rowey, can you please comment about Luke Pedlar's game? I thought he was very good. He does the team things, and on more than one occasion, he really does commit his body. He's a first approach at the ball. No wonder he's injured all the time. He just needs to be loaded up. He just needs to be keeping playing. I think they've got him in their best 22. I like to see him in that role that Rochelli's in now, where he's a forward, but he gets a little bit of a squirt on ball. I think I'd like to swap that role and get him a bit higher up the ground and in through the midfield, because Rochelli's just a genius around goal, isn't he? Let's face it.
He is, but he's playing good footy where he is.
So maybe you'd say
you
don't change it. But
that.
In a word, I'm an unashamable fan of Luke Pedlar, because what he got is real power. He can sit on your head, he can kick at 60, and when he tackles you, he can hurt you. I love those sort of players.
Oh, absolutely.
Speaking of unique homestyle food text, John's asked, did Josh Worrell get an apology phone call from the boss over Rob's dog owner comments?
Might have, should have, deserved to.
I think he's going straight to Rob to get one.
Yeah. Hello, Tyrone.
Good afternoon, boys. How are we?
Hey, Tyrone. Good, mate.
Yeah, with these comments about poor old Wayne Valera Jr., I've been watching football for a long time, and ever since I can remember, when certain people used to go down to the change rooms after the game and they'd be interviewing whoever won from whoever side, there's been comments coming up that have been said like that, and the commentators would even turn around and they'd say, oh, we saw them out there yelling at each other on the ground. It was like they didn't know Arthur from Martha. So this is nothing new. Jack, maybe get back on stage and do some more dancing.
Yeah, awesome singing. Thanks,
Singing
Tyrone.
and dancing.
It just is... I don't know whether it's one-upmanship or first to the story or inject yourself in the story, or the game's that boring now that you've got to pick little things like that. So of all the things you could have commented on...
You wouldn't say that was a boring game.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
If you were Sydney, you'd be frustrated.
But of that game, you said you didn't hear anything about that. That game, is that the number one thing that's come out of it?
No.
No, there's 10, 15, 20.
But does it need to be a thing at all?
No.
That's the topic, and that's what'll happen tonight. There's 2 shows on tonight. You'll probably see another one during the week, and then, somewhere in that mix, it'll come up again, and they'll have their opinions on it, and that's what rolls out. And then, like back in the old days, it could be front page of the paper. It's fish and chip paper the next day. Sometimes you just don't worry about it.
Andrew Dillon's the CEO of the AFL. He made a few comments about the appointment that he's made with Swanee. Have a listen.
Greg's achieved so much at Brisbane, and he was, and I knew there was a longing to be home at Melbourne at some stage. So the timing was right, and I think Greg will be a great addition to the AFL footy department and to the AFL executive team.
Yeah, there you go.
He'll be great.
So it's a good appointment.
Well, we had Jimmy Bartell on 2 weeks ago, and he said, listen, this AFL is a massive organisation. They've got carte blanche and the pick of every football person in the land because they've got an unlimited fund. It's AFL House. You're a decision maker. You're a shaper of rules and all of that. You could get anyone you want.
Yeah, but don't get too big where things get stuck in the pipeline. Yeah, because I don't know whether I'm answering to him or he's answering to her or whatever. And sometimes that's what happens is there's no direct line and direct channel to get that answer back.
So Greg Swan will now be the week-to-week footy issue guy, if you like. So he's got the MRO, umpiring, game analysis, player movement, laws of the game, innovation, club engagement, coach engagement, all that stuff that comes with week-to-week footy issues.
And he's very good in the media. He's very quick-witted and sharp. So you watch how much more we'll hear of him. I've heard Laura Kane speak twice. Have you?
Yeah, not a lot.
No. And that's a role. When Brad Scott was in the role or Steve Hocking was in the role, if we rang Steve Hocking, he'd come on every week.
Yeah, I do think they found out.
Swanee will be the same.
There was some moments there where they presented Laura on some issues, and it just didn't go down well. So I think they decided, right, well, let's pull that back. But then that makes it worse sometimes.
Well, you're compromising. You know when you compromise, what you become.
Compromised.
That's right.
Well, footy fans just want clear conviction, don't they, from their leaders? They don't want spin, do they? So that's
you don't
what we
want
might
butts and candy nuts.
Let's see if we'll get that with Greg Swan.
Do have a great unique homestyle food text. Maria said, I prefer John Swan, thanks. Instead of Greg Swan.
Oh, is he really the half brother of
full brother of Jimmy Barnes?
Well, why have they got different names?
Because it's a long story, but he's a lot older.
Okay.
And when their father left,
two dads,
Mr. Barnes came in, and Jimmy was young, and he took that name.
Okay.
And John was the biological dad.
Yeah. It would be the same, would it?
What?
Jimmy Swan?
No, it's not.
No.
Jimmy Barnes works well, and so does John
Getting
Swan.
A family tree lesson. 28 minutes after 5. Ollie Wines up for the headlines.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
The Prime Industries Minister, she's got a nose out of joint that she didn't get to come on.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Now, does she want to come on so that she can correct any imputations arising from the interview we just did with Peter Petzios, the tomato grower, because her feelings are hurt that the government's been criticised publicly?
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
I tell you what, sometimes people in politics, they get the reputations they deserve.
5AA Breakfast.
Don't talk to us, talk to Peter. We can give the Minister Peter's number.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
The blackout end of financial year sale is live at Edwardstown Mazda. With huge in-showroom only deals across all new and demo vehicles. Must end June 30. Only at Edwardstown Mazda.
Go Harvey Norman half-yearly clearance. Up to 20% off clearance mobile phones and up to 30% off Windows 11 computers. All the big brands on sale. Save $400 on Samsung 75-inch QLED TV, now under $2,000. And LG 8-kilo front-load washer down to just $593. Shop hot deals on discounted lounges, dining, outdoor furniture and barbecues. Plus big brand mattresses, bedroom furniture, kids furniture, storage pieces and more. Harvey Norman half-yearly clearance. Best brands, best range, best prices guaranteed. Conditions apply.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good evening, Mel Usher with the 5AA News headlines. Investigations are continuing into a machete attack in a city apartment this morning. 2 people have been charged and 3 people are in hospital. Accused killer Erin Patterson has given evidence on day 24 of the mushroom murder trial. More party swapping, Greens Senator Dorinda Cox has defected to the ALP. And in sport, Greg Swan will leave Brisbane to take on a key role at AFL House. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Whether your block's the size of Adelaide Oval or the Gold Square, customise your build with Sterling Homes.
G'day there, in the Parklands. Got a crash by Tells Road near Decathlon Terrace. Pretty solid delays and super slow through there at the moment. Holden Hill burst water main making things slow North East Road near Grand Junction Road, and a couple of lanes out of action at Salisbury East for urgent sewer works. Bridge Road near McIntyre Road. Busy at the moment, Goodwood Road just near the showgrounds, and got a camera East Parkway, Kernlight Gardens. Shop, eat, chill, repeat in KL. Fly from Adelaide to Kuala Lumpur via Bali from just $319 with AirAsia. Book now, T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, partly cloudy tonight down to 10, a shower or 2 tomorrow 17. Right now it's 16 degrees. We'll have more news at 6 on 5AA, always Adelaide.
When your youngest finishes school and pick up and drop off become a distant memory. When the neighbours no longer have loud music to complain about. When you wake up and fall asleep to the sound of silence because the kids have flown the nest. If only it happened sooner. Semi-retirement, disposable income and infinite time to spend it. You're a super consumer. If you run a business that'd like to reach the consumer we call the trifecta, speak to us here at 5AA.
Okie dokie, if you've got a window that's been smashed, cracked, scratched or chipped, don't mess around. Call Complete Windscreens, Timmy. For over 50 years, this family-owned SA company has serviced our state. So,
can I have a guess at the number?
Please.
8269 4444.
Okay, there you go. So for same day, windscreen replacement, no one, and I really do mean no one, can match our price, our quality and our service. We get our glass in, we import it. We've got 15 fitters, all mobile. We've got the firepower. We can do the ADAS calibrations in-house. We tint, we polish, we cut glass. We do the complete lot. If you've got an insured car, you'll ring a number and they'll put you through to a windscreen person. You can pick your repair of choice.
Yep, and I choose the big red koala.
On Main North Road Prospect, and the number is
8269 4444.
We've just been approved as a fleet provider, so if you've got a fleet car, you can use Complete Windscreens. And why would you not use SA Great? Why would you not use South Australia?
If I was fleet, I'd use Complete.
Yeah. No, that's extra.
There's a tagline.
There's extra dollars in the tin tank.
There it is.
There it is.
Nice,
there
Timmy.
it is. The big red koala, 8269 4444. CompleteWindscreens.com.au.
All right, so that'll be absolutely diddly squat. 0. Zilch. Nada.
Buy any new, used or demo vehicle from Wayville Hyundai before June 30 and you could win an entire year of groceries from Foodland on us. Groceries covered, car sorted, more money for what matters. Visit wayvillehyundai.com.au to find out more. T's and C's apply. Licence number T25707. Another great deal driven by Australian Motors.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
As you'd expect, these processes take time. In this case, a little bit more time than we expected. From the very start, Football Australia has been committed to finding the right coach and not the first coach.
There we go. The CEO of Football Australia announcing the Matildas have a new coach after a 10-month hunt. Joe Montemuro will be leading the Matildas into the Asian Cup next year, the Women's World Cup in 27 and the LA Olympics into 2028. So congratulations. They have a friendly tonight against Argentina in Canberra, which is a sellout. So we'll go over that all tomorrow. And you can visit Rinella Hyundai. Take a test drive today to find your perfect Hyundai car. They're on Main South Road, Rinella. We are live on our Facebook and YouTube live stream on 5AA social media, so you can watch each and every night onto the program. But right now, it's time to get to Alberton and talk to a very good friend of ours, all thanks to Sharman Shelving, who have moved their showroom next door into the big white building, still at 412 North East Road, Timmy.
Well, Port Adelaide had the break, and a much-needed one. They're going to reset now and get into the second half of the year. We take on GWS this Saturday. We've got Ollie Wines on the line. G'day, Ollie. How did you use your break?
I found a bit of time to head back to Echuca in Victoria. So first time I've been back since Christmas, which is a nice change up.
Yeah.
Saw Mum and Dad and had a bit of river time, which was nice.
Beautiful, mate. No water skiing, though?
No, none this time of year. Too cold.
I love it, mate. You got back into training, I think, Friday. Did you do anything over the weekend as well?
Yeah, we had our main session Saturday. So it's probably our bigger session for, the in-season program as we've got the bye. So boys cracked in Saturday. We were able to, tinker some little things that haven't been going our way and we think we can improve on and hopefully we'll get opportunities to continue to work on that and hopefully see the results come through.
Yeah, what were some of the things you were focusing on?
A little bit comes down to our defence. So, previous years we've been one of the best defensive teams in the comp in terms of, letting opposition not kick many goals. And this year, we've let opposition give a lot of score. So a little bit comes down to our quickness in transition. So how quickly can you go from being in offence or either not being able to impact on offence to go to defence? And, our speed just hasn't been up to what we need it to be this year. So that's probably been forefront of our mind.
Ollie, what's your assessment of the first half of the year so far?
Look, I'm probably in, what everyone else thinks. It's been a tough start to the year. We've only won 4 games and comparing it to previous years and campaigns I've had, it's nowhere near where we want to be. So the bye probably came at a good time for us, both, how we're going and injuries. We'll get a number of guys back this week and there's a lot of things we need to tidy up. There's plenty of opportunities throughout the rest of the year. I think we've got 12 or 13 games left to, make amends, but we've had to use this time over the last week to really have a look what has not been working for us and find ways to fix it.
Is it a reset? Is it a reboot? I mean, it's probably a bit of both because without any shadow of a doubt, you've got a lot of players out. There's no question about that, and that has impacted your output. I'm interested in this. It's a tough position for senior players like yourself to be in that, you've only ever known Ken as your coach, and I know how tight you are and how the connection between he and you to him, the senior blokes. How do you honour him from here, Ollie?
Yeah, we've got to continue to, give 100% effort, and I've got no doubt that'll continue. Ken's been our coach for so long, and he's done so much for us, and we've got full faith in his direction, along with Connor. They're our 2 leaders, and we'll continue to play for them. I think it's been a good opportunity not to so much reset, but just have a look where we are and what's not working for us at this stage. And it's we're in the middle of the season. You can't change everything now. We've got to find what's not working for us and stick to the plan.
3 of your last 4, you've been smoked in the second half, only kicked 2 goals in each of them. There's a trend in all of this. You haven't scored in the last quarter. People call that the grunt quarter. They're the sort of things you need to do to honour Ken or honour the team, aren't they? You just got to find a bit more fight, Ollie.
Yeah, certainly. And I think, we're getting opportunities and sometimes it comes down to a lack of polish that, we're not able to score inside 50s. I think in Fremantle, we had a lot of chances in the last quarter, but we just weren't able to kick goals. So, as you said, it comes down to, gritting the teeth and getting your boots dirty and trying to score in that last quarter, which, we haven't been able to, but we've got to turn the tide on that.
Yeah, I sort of went, digging around trying to find something, and I thought, maybe the pressure rating drops away when we have those really bad games or bad halves. And no, it doesn't really vary that much. So I eliminated that one. It's not actually, the pressure or the want to do it. It's probably more execution that you're talking about.
Yeah, and a little bit winning the ball too, I think. I think it's easy to, keep pressure on when the opposition's always got the ball and you've never got it yourself. So that has been a little bit of an issue at times. We've had massive running numbers and running output, but a lot of that is because we're just chasing the opposition and chasing them when they run downhill and kick score on us in the last. So there are a few, baseline issues where we've addressed, and I mentioned one before, that transition speed, but there's a few others, in the contest trying to win clearance and winning contested ball is really crucial for us. So I think those momentum runs teams get on in that, third, fourth quarter is a result of those things breaking down.
Well, was handball addressed as far as the use of it? Because in our wins, we haven't had as many as a higher ratio to kicking. In the losses, we seem to get a little bit higher in that 1-to-1 area.
Yeah, it hasn't so much been addressed. I think we like to, back in our hands and releasing guys and trying to release someone out the front to use it by foot. At times, I think our handball skills probably haven't been up to that, and they've cost us more than we've probably gained from that. So, we're continuing to work on that, and we need a certain level of fundamental skills that get you a game, because this league's so tough these days, and if you're not up to that standard, a team will really expose you.
-2 in Canberra overnight, Ollie. Just saying. Have you got some thermals?
Oh, yeah. It's cold there.
Well, yeah, I don't. I've had the fire going here at the moment just because I wanted to have a fire, but we haven't really needed it, though. It's been so warm, so that'll be a fair shock to the system, won't it?
We're hearing there's a few back. I know you're only fresh back on the track. It's only Monday against GWS. Jason Horne-Francis might lead the charge.
Yeah, I think at this stage, Horner's probably the one that's probably a little bit less likely than likely. So he ran today and he ran well, but I think he's a player that he's so powerful and you don't want to risk a hammy.
No.
I think there's 4 others that are big chances. So Stav, Kane Farrell, Josh Finn, and I think Darcy Byrne-Jones looks like he'll clear the protocol. So as I said, it was probably a good time to reset at the bye and try to get some troops back as well.
And Jack Lukosius, is he getting close to maybe a sample return?
He is. I think he had a little bit of a step back with the back, actually. So his knee's really good. I don't think it'll cost him much time. So I think he's probably only 2 weeks away from having a return and sample.
Excellent, mate. GWS, they seem to have got away with a bit of a lucky win against Richmond, didn't they? I don't think they're as formidable as maybe they were early in the year.
I still think they're a really dangerous team. I think their ability to score quickly, like you saw in that last quarter, is a bit of a weapon of theirs. They've got some weapons up forward that can do that, led by Toby Green. So they like playing in Canberra, I know that, and that'll be a challenge for us. But we've got to get our season going. We've got to kick started off the bye. I know everyone's chomping at the bit to get back into it. A week off, a bit of a freshen up. So we'll be giving it a good crack.
Beautiful, mate. You go and get the points, and we'll see you back here for the next one.
Perfect. Sounds good.
Good man, Ollie Wines there, our guest. Port Adelaide back into the fold, taking on GWS this week.
It's going to be a big game indeed. This is all thanks to Sharman Shelving, who have moved their showroom next door into the big white building. They're still at 412 North East Road. It is 17 minutes to 6. Let's check your traffic.
In the Park Lanes, look out for a crash by Tellers Road near Kettleville Terrace. Salisbury Park, crash there too. Main North Road near Currasbrook Park. Holden Hill, Burst Watermain, North East Road near Green Junction Road, got 2 lanes closed and pretty solid delays. And Salisbury East, Urgent Sewer Works, Bridge Road near McIntyre Road. It's taken out a couple of lanes, so she's slow there too. Camera you'll find tonight, Findon Road at Findon. When the lucky country isn't so lucky, lucky with Amy. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Hi, I'm Lynn Andrews. The Lynn Andrews team have seen a lot of change in real estate over the past 50 years, but one thing remains unchanged: our passion to help people invest in their future. To build strong property portfolios in either the residential or the commercial sectors. Our commitment to property investment over the years means we have a wealth of knowledge to share. We're here to help you. Visit lynnandrews.com.au.
MG's end of financial year finance deals are on now with incredible rates on selected models. Ends June 30. T's and C's, fees, charges and exclusions apply. Finance for approved applicants of Angle Auto Finance. Australian Credit Licence 530731.
At Holistic Care SA, we're focused on capacity building, not just care. We help people with disability gain the support, skills and confidence for independent living. Whether it's creating a resume, catching a bus to the footy or learning to cook independent efficiently in your home or in one of ours, Holistic Care SA makes those milestones happen. For a friendly chat about supported independent living, visit holisticcaresa.com.au, because everyone deserves the chance to become who they're meant to be.
Right Price, you've heard of them. Sensational jingle, one you can't get out of your head. They call it an earworm. It's, it just gets in there and you just sing along all day to it. I've been singing it today, actually. But it's been a name that's synonymous with the very best in heating and cooling, as we know from the jingle. But all new heights now, literally, right up to the roof. Yep, they are giving you the same exceptional service, value and quality now in roofing.
It is. It's Right Price Roofing. They do it all from total roof replacement, including tiled roof installation to tiled roof repairs and cleaning. In fact, the Right Price Roofing team has over 25 years' experience in roof repairs and restoration.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
They do.
And I'll tell you what, just painting the roof can make it just pop again. You'll love the result. Give it a go. And look, in typical Right Price fashion, it'll always be quality. They always use quality products in everything they do.
Yep, yes, they do. And for peace of mind, Right Price Roofing will give you a rock-solid quote. That's what you want.
Yeah.
No surprises.
I want it rock, I want it solid,
and it's a quote. That's exactly. The only surprise you'll get is when you walk outside with your wife, you got your arm over your shoulder, say, love, look at that. Point to the ceiling and do one of those.
Little wharf whistle. Tell you what, you got a leaky roof or roof cleaning or total roof restoration, do it right. Get in touch with Right Price Roofing. You can visit them at rightpriceroofing.com.au.
Were you a fan of the Beatles, Del Shannon, Petula Clark, or the Beach Boys? Well, don't miss the all-new Robertson Brothers 1960s variety TV show with special guest stars Simon Brooke McLaughlin and Cosima DeVito from Australian Idol. The Robertson Brothers 1960s variety TV show.
Her Majesty's Theatre Wednesday, June 25. Barossa Arts Centre Sunday, June 29.
1 in 6 Australian children are living with poverty, and it's creating a hidden learning crisis. For too many children, like 7-year-old Ella, the invisible barriers of poverty hold them back at school, and it's costing them their chance to build a better future. Every child deserves an equal chance. Don't let poverty stand in their way. Donate by June 30 to provide the extra learning support they need. Search the Smith family.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
It was unacceptable and embarrassing. No, I didn't expect that. On such a massive night for the footy club when you have a 20-year reunion for a team that played desperate, uncompromising, ruthless football, and that was that far from it. So we need to strip it back and get to work real quick.
Sort of feel it as a group, when we were all over them in the first half, and that was sort of a bit of a rabble just hearing from them on ground.
12 minutes to 6. It's our Monday footy review. The voices of Dean Cox, coach of the Sydney Swans, and Wayne Miller from the Adelaide Crows. Call in. We'd love you to have your say. 8223 0000. In particular, it's sort of been the topic of the night. Is Wayne Miller's rabble comment worth apologising for? The Crows said it didn't reflect what the club truly felt.
Well, look, they're entitled to do that. Personally, I wouldn't. Don't complain, don't explain, never say sorry. He didn't do anything wrong. I mean, you heard Cox's grab there, Timmy, was probably worse than...
Oh, yeah.
And again, I like to put everything into context. You've just won the first time in 5 years against Sydney. You've played well as a team, and Wayne was superb. You've sung the song. Emotions are high. And you know what happens after they sing the song? The media go around, they've already said, Timmy, you're with him. Rowey, you're with him. Sam, you're with him. Cans get put on your head. You get asked ridiculous questions from buffheads like us in the media. One of them would have said, well, what did you think of Sydney? Well, they were a rabble. Now, put it in context. That is not worth a Jack Rewalt slap across the head.
Can I ask
to
this?
Look at our values.
Can I ask this?
Yeah.
When will Wayne be back on media?
Well, that's the other thing. Now, he called a game with us.
And, I don't think that's
terrific.
fair.
And did a terrific job.
Yeah, but I don't think it's fair.
No, it's not.
That he will now won't be presented.
No.
Will he?
No, not for a while.
Because they'll go, well, we don't want take that risk again or whatever. You know, it was a little bit refreshing to just hear somebody talk, honestly.
But refreshing doesn't count it anymore. Have you say 822 300 Port have Giants in Canberra Saturday night. And I'm a bit sad with this. I've liked this bloke from afar. Well, more than liked, I've admired the way he goes about it.
Cement head.
His name is Callum Ward. He is Cement Head. He's been knocked out a couple of times. He's played well over 300 games. He was an original Giant. He was an absolute gun for the Bulldogs. He was probably that first signing where the Giants, through Sheed, said, mate, get this bloke. You build a team around him. And they most definitely have done that. Added the Greens and a couple of others, Whitfield and a bit of talent. But, God, he's been great. He's done his ACL. And he's one of those players that you call a heart and soul player. Yeah. You build teams around his courage, his toughness and his respect. And I just think about him, and he wanted to play on because he thought this might be the year the Orange Tsunami goes that one step further, and they were very unlucky last year not to play in a grand final. He's played and won and lost. Went around another year. There's no such thing as a fairy tale finish. Ask Travis Boak, is there a fairy tale finish?
There's many a story like that. I mean, let's go back to Robbie Flower.
Yep.
Never even played in a grand final, so let alone win one. So,
but an injury to cruel you?
Oh, yeah, to put you out. It does. And there's so many sad stories. Bob Murphy.
No fairy tale there.
Out. Yeah, exactly. No fairy tale there. So I remember when Shane Crawford got up in 08, and he'd gone through the real bottom of Hawthorn. Yeah. He got up and, that's what I'm talking about and all the rest of it. He was considering playing on. Now, I don't know who spoke to him, but it was very good advice to say, no, wind it up.
Go out like that.
Go out like that. You won't get it better than that.
Yeah.
And you no guarantee just because you win one, you're going back to back. So, as we know, they didn't. They didn't win another one until 13, I think.
Fairy tale finishes.
Who's had
footy?
One? Not many.
And not many players get to choose when their end date is.
No.
Certainly Callum Ward won't. So our thoughts with him. That's bloody sad, isn't it?
I always say, get out before they get you. So
yeah, that's true.
Just
before they shoot you.
Yeah, just be smart about it and get out. You know, one I saw on the weekend that just, what would you say, brings up debate and discussion. Lloyd Meek, in that thrashing that Collingwood gave Hawthorn, he has charged in late on Lipinski.
He did.
Gone to spoil the ball. He was way too late. Crunched him. Now, I thought to myself, that was late. If he's concussed, he's going to get a game.
He missed the ball
at least. Yeah, he missed everything. So I think he would have missed the bus had it been coming through. He was that late. But honestly...
No case to answer.
No case to answer.
Wow.
And I go, okay, well, was it a footy act? Maybe, but it was late. And I think anything late like that, you normally at least, get a 50-metre or something on the back of it. But
4 weeks ago, that's 3 weeks.
That's what I was thinking.
4 weeks ago, that was 3 weeks.
There's probably been a correction.
A shift.
And gone, rightio, let's get back to some footy moments and look at footy moments rather than that. He tried to spoil, he was late, all the rest of it. He got off.
Matthew Richardson's just said on 3AW he's applauded it for a common sense decision.
Do you remember Tom Jonas cleaned up Gaff?
Yes.
Gaff fumbled and he went through. He got 6 for that.
And that was late.
Yeah, and that was late. Now, I think 6-0.
Yeah.
Well,
let's hope Greg Swan
a big gap.
Can get some, I don't know, some levity with all of this because it goes from one end to the other. It does a 180 degree. There's no clarity in it and players are confused. Let's hope they get it right. Love your calls. Let's go to Evandale. Anthony.
G'day, Roy. G'day, Timmy.
G'day, Anthony.
Just calling up about the Giro Italia.
Yes.
It finished on Sunday. On Saturday, there was a local lad called Chris Harper who won the 20th stage, Old Scotch College Collegiate.
Sorry, you cut out there, Anthony. What was his name?
Can't quite hear you, mate.
Chris Harper.
Chris Harper, right. And he won a stage, did you say?
Yeah, the 20th stage.
How good.
So I didn't get much air coverage anywhere, so I just thought I'd bring it up.
Is he related, Anthony? Is he a friend or...?
He's a Scotch College Old Collegiate.
Wow, that's great news. I tell you what he would have done, Anthony, because the incoming Pope was at the finish line of the Giro d'Italia. You would have met him.
Maybe, yeah. And also the winner of the actual Giro d'Italia was Simon Yates. He used to be on the JK team as well. So he did a bit of a
Well done.
bravery. He was in third place, and the other two said, well, I'm not going to challenge you, but they let him win, and he won the overall race.
Fantastic. Well, we go from that now to the Tour de France. I love getting up and watching the odd stage of that.
Oh, yeah.
How picturesque it is.
That's the thing about that, and that's what advertises South Australia so well in the Tour Down Under is they just look at the views, and that's why we've got a lot of people starting to come out going, that looks all right. I don't mind that coastline. That looks pretty good. I'll come out and visit.
Exactly right.
And I think it's the same. We've been watching it in Europe for a long time now. They're able to come down here. It's grown beautifully down here.
Talk about endurance. You can't ride a bike. I did 100k in one day for our Rusden ride for charity for Make-A-Wish.
Yep.
They do 180s, 200s, up and down hills. They do it for 20 days in a row.
Backing up.
They're elite.
Oh, they are, yeah. Well, especially now that they're
no drugs?
Hopefully clean.
Here there is no Lance Armstrong?
There was, and that was probably one of the things that was alarming. It was a lot of the riders went, well, how do they keep backing up? Because you can win the stage and the rest of it, but normally you're that sore and it's hard to recover the next day.
Yeah.
I just couldn't believe the recovery.
No.
That's what was going on, and that's why they went, something not right here. But when everybody was sort of having a crack at it, it's like, well, who becomes the police people? That was the big decision there. So I've got a unique homestyle food text here.
Oh, read it, please.
Tom at Kenttown. He said, after the Crows got beaten by Richmond in 2017, Richmond players, they were commenting left, right and centre about how players were arguing and carrying on.
They did.
He said they'd said everything bar the word rabble, but it was pretty much along those lines. So very interesting.
Certainly up to half-time.
Well.
And it was true. They could hear them walking down the race, fighting with each other.
Again, if we are talking about fact, then
but
that
that's
was a
called
fact.
competitiveness.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. And if you see...
You're in a grand final.
If you see a chink in your opposition's armour, and you're not going to have a go at it, come on.
Did you ever call an opposition rabble?
Rabble?
Did you ever give your opposition any ammo?
It would have been worse than that, I think.
That's what I mean.
God, I don't think the word rabble would have come to mind.
I don't know whether woke's the word or soft's the word, but how sanitised are we getting as an industry?
Yeah.
And we spent 2 hours talking about it. I came in today and said, I don't want to talk about it.
Probably because it's a bit of shock on the reaction.
Okay.
I think that's what it's generated.
Well, let's get better. Timmy, as an industry, let's get better.
Well,
we will endeavour to do that. 3 minutes to
Stop
6.
being a rabble,
The news is coming up. We'll speak Formula One with Michael Laminato. Oscar Piastri has won his 5th race of the season from just 9. He leads the way in Formula One. We'll speak to Michael next.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
This end of financial year, make it a Mercedes-Benz. Enjoy offers across the range, including new and demonstrator models. Visit Mercedes-Benz Adelaide and Unley today. Terms and conditions apply. Excludes all electric and hybrid models.
Hi, Jane Riley here. Did you know there's a virus called RSV and a couple of like viruses which can cause severe illness and even death in infants and the elderly? Research is urgently needed to find a vaccine which will attack 2 or 3 of these viruses at the same time. Local Adelaide company Fusion Clinical Research is conducting trials to find that vaccine. Interested in volunteering? Call Fusion on 08 7077 6996. You will be compensated for your time.
Now, if you're an empty nester, here's some good news about getting laid. No, I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to offend anybody. I'm talking about getting new tiles laid, and that's by Life's Tiles.
That's it. Now we're talking. If you're thinking about renovating your bathroom or kitchen, the best place to start is by choosing your tiles. Life's Tiles has the range and the advice you need for their huge location. It's down there in Lonsdale.
Yeah.
It's massive, every size, every style, all at prices that mean you don't have to compromise. No one wants to compromise with tiles because they're the bow on the present.
Yeah.
They're the tinsel around the
brings it to life.
It does.
That's what
tiles
it's about.
are the everything.
Well, that's why they're called Life's Tiles, I suppose. Over 60 years' experience in the Life's Tiles team, so you can trust them to inspire you with options and designs. And people like me need that. I just can't do it.
I need to be inspired.
I need people like Life's Tiles to help me. So start your reno by getting laid with designer tiles at warehouse prices from Life's Tiles, Lonsdale.
Sail through Europe's majestic waterways in style with Emerald Cruises and Phil Hoffman Travel. Experience a 15-day Splendours of Europe river cruise from just $4,945 per person, saving up to $2,750 per person. Explore 5 countries and enjoy 13 Emerald active excursions and Emerald Plus experiences with meals, beverages, transfers and more all included. Offer ends June 30. Visit pht.com.au.
When your youngest finishes school and pick up and drop off become a distant memory. When the neighbours no longer have loud music to complain about. When you wake up and fall asleep to the sound of silence because the kids have flown the nest. If only it happened sooner. Semi-retirement, disposable income and infinite time to spend it. You're a super consumer. If you run a business that'd like to reach the consumer we call the trifecta, speak to us here at FIVEAA.
Local news and information first. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Down to 10 tonight, a shower or two tomorrow, 17. With the 6 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher.
Beat the winter rush today and make sure your home is comfortable all year round with Mannix.
2 men have been charged and will front court tomorrow following a machete attack in the city this morning. Police were called to the Altitude Apartments near Morford Street just before 5, finding 3 males with stab wounds. A 16-year-old boy received injuries to his back, thighs and hands. A 27-year-old sustained a laceration across his chest and a 31-year-old suffered a laceration to his head and wounds to his abdomen. The 27-year-old has been charged with affray and 4 counts of assault. A 25-year-old has been charged with affray and assault. Dylan lives in the building.
I could just see all these cop cars coming and sirens. It was like crazy. It was really loud.
Investigations are continuing. The United States says Australia should increase defence spending by $40 billion a year in a bid to counter the growing threat of China. The federal government says it's open to spending more, but insists it won't pick an arbitrary number. The opposition is also backing calls for higher military spending. The Prime Minister has been in South Australia today to meet with drought-affected farmers and announce a funding boost for the Rural Financial Counselling Service.
This extra funding will allow the Financial Counselling Service to employ more financial counsellors, deliver more support to people on the ground. We'll also convene the 2025 National Drought Forum at Gawler. This is a forum that's held every 2 years. It's an opportunity for stakeholders to come together from all around the country.
WA Greens Senator Dorinda Cox has defected to the ALP. She announced the switch at a media conference alongside the Prime Minister, who's in Perth for a cabinet meeting. Senator Cox believes Labor will be better suited to help her bring about change.
I've worked hard to make Australia fairer and much more reconciled. But recently I've lost some confidence in the capacity for the Greens to assist me in being able to progress this. I can continue to collaborate and build on the existing relationships with an already amazing team of Labor MPs across the country.
The senator, who was not up for re-election last month, says the move has been considered over a period of time. And a golden retriever cross has had quite the adventure after going missing for more than a month in the UK. It's thought the dog covered about 162 kilometres, including swimming to an island before being rescued. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
At Barossa Volkswagen, we'll let you take a car home for the night. Barossa Volkswagen. City service, country feels.
Port kick off the second half of their season this weekend after their mid-season break. They face the Giants in Canberra. Ollie Wines has a heart issue and underwent surgery late last year. It's reared its head again, but he said he's good.
I had a procedure back in December and there was a 1% likeliness that it wouldn't work, and unfortunately I'm in the 1% that it hasn't worked. So we've gone back to a bit of an intervention plan that we had previous 2 years to manage it up into that operation, and that's working well so far, and we'll reassess at the end of the season.
Greg Swan will leave Brisbane to take on a key role at AFL House. Eddie Summerfield reports.
A veteran AFL administrator of 26 years, having led Collingwood, Carlton and turned around the off-field fortunes at Brisbane, Greg Swan was a wanted man at AFL House by League Chief Andrew Dillon.
He'll have a lot of autonomy to make changes that he sees fit.
Swan will finish up at the Lions next month before moving to AFL House, taking control of the on-field football issues from MRO to umpiring and the laws of the game. Essendon great Matthew Lloyd applauding the appointment.
Sometimes he's got to be in the right place at the right time, and I think he's a good choice for the AFL.
And in cricket, SA's Nathan McSweeney, Jason Sanger, Henry Thornton and Liam Scott have been named in the 16-player squad for Australia A's multi-format series against Sri Lanka A in Darwin. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Whether your block's the size of Adelaide Oval or the Gold Square, customise your build with Sterling Homes.
In the city, Carvey Bike on King William Street near Carrington Street. In the Parklands, a crash, Bartels Road near Kettleville Terrace. Salisbury Park, another collision there, Main North Road near Carrollsbrook Park. And Holden Hill burst water main North East Road near Grand Junction Road. Couple lanes out of action, so she is super slow. Camera tonight, Airport Road at Brooklyn Park. Look for the RAA sign at over 400 independent RAA-approved repairers across SA. You know you can trust them because RAA do. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA weather.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Down to 10 tonight, a shower or two tomorrow, 17. Sunny and 16 on Wednesday. Thursday, a shower or two, 18. Right now, it's 15 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
In your suburb.
Good evening from Port Noarlunga.
Across your state.
A sombre scene here in Bordertown tonight.
9 News is covering the stories that matter to South Australians.
We begin with breaking news tonight.
South Australian parents urged to be extra vigilant.
Because your home is our home. Adelaide is your city. 9 is your news.
Stay informed, get involved. 5AA, always Adelaide.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
6 minutes after 6 here on the Sports Show. You can watch us live on the Ranella Hyundai live stream. We're on Facebook and YouTube. Great to have your company tonight. And you can give us a call, 8223 0000. The Sample Show is coming up with Matt Panos as well at 6:30 tonight. And there's a lot to cover off. West Adelaide's coach, Adam Hartlett, has stepped aside for personal reasons, so we'll cover all that off and more later on this evening. But right now, it's time to talk Formula One, all thanks to Parafield Airport Liquor, home of the hardest to find wines, beers and spirits. Life is better with your pals.
Drama everywhere you look. No dramas for Oscar Piastri, who wins his 5th Grand Prix of the year. Piastri takes the Spanish Grand Prix. It's a McLaren one too.
Well, yeah, they're dominating. Fox Sports F1 reporter Michael Laminato, our guest. Michael, Oscar's done it again, but he had to bounce back, didn't he? Well, he wasn't flash in Monaco, but he's able to bounce back here.
Yeah, and that's a really important point, is that we're at the end of a triple header now, 3 races in succession, and for the first 2 he lost points through teammate Lando Norris, retained the title lead, but saw that advantage shrink to just 3 points before this race. But this was an emphatic way to bounce back and head into that weekend break as possible. There's not really any point over the course of the entire weekend, but maybe practice one and 1 lap in the pole shootout, but it was only 1 lap where he looked anything other than in total control. He managed the pace in the Grand Prix perfectly. His start was great. His safety car restart was great. He said afterwards that not only was he really proud of the performance of the way the team had pulled together, but the way that they're now finding little percentage gains, he mentioned. It's putting the real small pieces together now to try and complete those almost perfect weekends is the area he's operating in. And we saw, as the commentator said, nothing troubles him really this weekend at all. It was pretty straightforward up the front.
Look, he's equalled both Jack Brabham and Alan Jones as far as wins go, and it's more the point. I think he's absolutely red-hot focused on winning this championship. I think now, how do McLaren handle these 2 drivers, Norris and Piastri, in trying to manage them both when they're both trying to win?
Yeah, they've been a little bit on the front foot. CEO Zach Brown in particular, who said several times now that it's not a matter of when, but rather not a matter of if, but rather when they hit each other. So they're clearly braced for that moment of action that'll be a high-pressure moment. But actually, in a strange way, this weekend will have given them a little bit of relief because with Max Verstappen now, I think, increasingly out of the title picture, he's now a long way back in terms of points at least. It's not to discount him starting for wins through the year. But if he's not in the title picture, it's much more of a straight fight. They don't have to worry about the risk of losing the driver's title to Max. They're almost guaranteed one of their drivers will win it. So when we get close to the end of the year, well, of course, no one will want to see orange carbon fibre across the track. They want it to keep clean. at least they know that the outcome is sort of all within the team. So I think it's actually a little bit of pressure off in a weird way.
So they don't have a number 1 or 2 driver. Surely now, after this many races and our man Piastri out in front, this is not being an Australian, supporter of it, surely the bosses or the powers to be going, nah, Norris, this bloke's our number 1, mate. If you hit him, we'll sack you.
It would be good for Australia, wouldn't it? I think, again, that's something the team would have contemplated had there been a risk of a driver from a different team winning the driver's title. There may yet be, so that may yet come into equation, although it's worth noting that the team has said, actually, this is Zach Brown's words, you'd almost prefer to see another driver win it than intervene, which I think is easy to say when the question's not immediately before you, but that's what he reckons. But because it seems right now almost certain that it's going to be either Lando Norris or Oscar Piastri from the team's perspective, and the team will win the Constructors' Championship, it's worth saying that as well. They've got quite a healthy lead. There's sort of no risk. There's no need to choose a number 1 because one of them will win it and then they'll emerge as the number 1 naturally. So it's, in that sense, a relatively comfortable position.
Yeah, well, it was a faultless drive. He got away from pole perfectly, and that's not easy to do. As you said, McLaren way out in front for the drivers, for the teams, nearly double what Ferrari is. What they've won 7 of the 9 and 16 podiums. They're no chance of losing that, which is fantastic. I want to talk about Ferrari, who's next, and Hamilton, who's in 6th spot. What sort of a season's he had? Can they get any better? Can they close the gap?
Ferrari has had certainly not the season it was expecting. We start with the team because we should remember they ended last year probably with the fastest car, fell short only by 14 points in the constructors' standings, but took some risks with this year's car, and it's become a little bit more difficult to drive. They're pinning all of their hopes, their last hope, on a suspension upgrade package coming early next month. They're predicting the British Grand Prix, I think it is. So maybe that'll turn things around. But right now, the car is just way too inconsistent. Charles Leclerc, I think off the top of my head, has only 3 podiums for the year, which is a far cry from what he was targeting last year. But if we look at Lewis Hamilton in particular, you talk about that big points gap between McLaren and Ferrari. Increasingly, that points gap is down to Lewis. He's not miles behind Leclerc in terms of score, but that gap is growing because he's had such an up and down season. It was only last week in Monaco, or the week before in Imola, in fact, in the race where he said finally he felt like things were clicking for him in his car. The change has been a little bit of a culture shock, I suppose, from Mercedes to Ferrari, in not only the way the team operates, but the way the car drives. But then we see again this weekend, he's absolutely nowhere. They had the disappointment of actually being told to let Leclerc through, having qualified ahead of him during the race, and then was obliterated after that. And anyone who wants to search for his post-race interviews can see how disappointed he was. So it's a little bit of a mystery there. He's still targeting, of course, next year when the rule changes he thinks will bring the cars back towards him. He's never really got along with this era of the rules, but certainly not the start that this pretty decorated combination would have hoped for.
I don't think he would have been pleased with the Sauber going past him, would he?
No, definitely not. Sauber last in the championship before this weekend. A car that's been absolutely nowhere. That was a real shock. I mean, yes, it had to do with the safety car restart, of course, and he just found that his car was actually getting worse and worse through the race. So, in a sense, not totally surprising when the field's bunched up like that. But I mean, a Ferrari should not be being passed by a Sauber, particularly not when Leclerc was proving it was capable of the podium. That was a fairly embarrassing punctuation point on the end of his race.
Yeah. Max Verstappen must have been in a bad mood. I could hear the audio. They gave him the advice, let him pass. He didn't. He got a 10-second penalty. But how serious was that moment, and what penalty should he have got?
Yeah, it was serious. You never want to see one driver use their car as a weapon, for want of a better phrase, against another driver, because it's fundamentally what he did by pushing George Russell deliberately off the road, not by crowding him, not by intimidating him, but by actually hitting him. And it was really remarkable. The race got away from Max Verstappen. He'd raced really well, actually, right up until the safety car. He had a really great performance, but ran out of tyres to change at that safety car. It was really contrary to his strategy and was a sitting duck for Leclerc and then Russell. And within the space of about, if you want to go watch replay, within the space of about 20 seconds, his mood goes from a little bit disappointed to absolutely enraged.
Yeah.
And when he was asked to give that position back to Russell, decided he'd prefer to hit him off the road. Totally self-defeating, dropped him to 10th with that 10-second penalty. And that's been a little bit contentious in the aftermath. Certainly there are some more extreme opinions. Nico Rosberg, the 2016 world champion, said he should have been disqualified from the race. That's not totally out there, because at the end of the day, it is dangerous. To hit another car deliberately is always dangerous. There's no two ways about it. he didn't do it, if you want to argue his side, he didn't do it with the intention of putting Russell out of the race. I think that would certainly have attracted disqualification. He did it because he was, for want of a better phrase, I guess, a little bit road ragey, we could describe it as. 10 seconds, probably a little bit lenient. I think Sebastian Vettel, with a similar incident a few years ago, got a drive-through penalty, which is much more severe. But the more severe for him is the fact that he's now got 11 of 12 points on his licence. Now, F1 licence looks very similar to your road car licence, 12 points, and well, in your road car, I guess you can't drive for a few years, but in F1, you can't drive for one race. So he's one relatively minor incident, 1 point, away from potentially missing a Grand Prix, which would be remarkable for a four-time defending champion.
Unreal. Canada's next. Does that suit any of the drivers more than one on that track?
Well, everything seems to suit McLaren, so I feel pretty comfortable saying that. That's they're going to start every race as favourites from now on.
Yeah, but out of those two, boys.
Out of those two boys, historically, when I say historically, they've only been teammates for a few years. It was only Oscar's third year. But Norris has had his own way here in that intra-team battle for the last couple of years. This was a difficult race for Oscar last year, in fact, despite having had quite a few good races leading up to it. It was a little bit of a momentum breaker. I don't expect that to be the case again this year, because Spain was another example of a difficult race for Oscar last year. Obviously, no such problems. In fact, he's been ticking quite a few boxes he's set himself up from the last few years in terms of poor performances, turning them around. He's yet to really commit a bad performance this year. So if he can perform well in Canada, that'll be another satisfying little turnaround that proves, as if we need any more proof, let's be honest, that he's not only much better than he was last year, but really is the real championship contending deal.
Well, I'm wrapped. McLaren's doing so well, and Piastri and Norris in front. Max is third. I think F1 needed Max to stink it up because he dominated. It was becoming boring. And I mean, what a buffet he is, driving frustrated and doing that. All we need now, I think, it's set up for a really good second half of the season. We just need Ferrari to lift their game a bit, Hamilton to start winning a few, and, maybe just press the McLaren veil a bit. I reckon that'd be just a great season then, and then Piastri just drives over the line and wins it. Bang, I've just said the last 10 races for you, Michael.
I think that's good. I think that's quite a wish list. I think it's impressive. I don't think it's going to be too straightforward like Spain, though, the rest of the season, to be honest. I think we've got sniping for victory for Verstappen, like you say, Ferrari. It can be interesting, but I mean, the good news for us is at least that Oscar's got a pretty good chance of winning the title.
And Michael, Mark Webber, he's managing Oscar Piastri. You reckon there's any nice influencing going on there?
I think there definitely is. You can hear it in his accent a little bit, to be totally honest with you. Mark's sort of British accents had an effect there, although Oscar's lived in the UK a bit. There's definitely a calmness, I think, that Mark Webber's instilled in him. Mark Webber calls him, or his nickname was Aussie Grit, and I think there's a degree of that in Oscar as well. He's very grounded in the reality. He doesn't sort of float away with his success. Maybe we'll wait and see when he gets more success, but I don't think it's going to happen. And there's just a steeliness that is very reminiscent of the way Mark Webber went about his business. He doesn't advise him on driving or anything like that anymore. There's no need for that because Oscar's clearly got the talent. But he's been really valuable, particularly in his earlier 2 years. So this is only his third year of sort of navigating the pitfalls of being a Formula One driver. That's also been pretty important for him. But there's no doubt that if and when, I'm going to say when Oscar wins that title, there'll be a lot of Webber influence that will have gone into it.
Oh, good. Fantastic stuff. Well, look forward to the next one in Canada. Really appreciate your time, Michael.
Thanks, guys, anytime.
Comprehensive as usual. Fox Sports F1 reporter Michael Laminato there. All thanks to Parafield Airport Liquor, home of the hardest to find wine, beers and spirits. Life's better with your pals, and he's one of ours.
Go the McLaren Vales. It's 18 minutes after 6. We're going to get to your calls next.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Our state can be proud of its unique businesses, big and small. Let's celebrate them with 5AA's Best of SA.
Aussie Fast is proudly South Australian owned and operated for over 30 years. Aussie Fast offers prompt, reliable and on-time delivery from interstate line haulage to local couriers and distribution, plus a fully monitored warehouse. For fast freight, logistics and courier solutions across South Australia and interstate, choose Aussie Fast.
The Best of SA, thanks to major sponsor Ray White Business Sales and Adelaide's 5AA.
It all started in the back shed. Maybe it started early or late. Either way, the Olympic Industry sale means there's no need to wait. With big savings on our entire range of SA engineered sheds, garages, carports and verandas, you can afford to start something big, tough, or tasty in your own backyard. Start something with the Olympic Industries Sale. On now.
You wake up with a runny nose. Maybe it's just a cold, but that scratchy throat. This might be serious. A little sniffle can cause a lot of worry. Test for COVID, flu A, flu B and RSV with one simple AHPC 4-in-1 antigen test. AHPC provides reliable results in just minutes and is available in single use and packs of 10 for value-priced family testing. AHPC 4-in-1 antigen tests. Available at leading chemists and Amazon.
Now, the Albion Hotel, it's your place to raise a glass, whether it's to a big sporting win or a milestone birthday or just to surviving the week. That's the one I like.
Oh, it's my homer, actually. I'm just off Prospect Road.
You are.
Oh, it's 5 minutes away. Been there a number of times. Outstanding here. I mean, it's your place to bring the whole family. We've taken the grandkids there. And it's that one uncle, and I'm generally that one that you sit in the corner, it's a bit smelly and he eats too much.
Family gatherings, oh, yes, Uncle Steve.
Your place, well, it's to tuck into a really good meal. God, their food is elite.
Yeah.
Share a laugh or two.
Yes.
And you do it all without the dishes. That's what I like.
That's the beauty of it. Leave them for the Albion staff. Richard, great manager too. Good fella. Pop into the Albion's Thirsty Camel bottle shop. It's a fairly big one too, and it's got a great selection of wines and spirits and the like. So get in there, ask Adam and the team about the incredible offers and pricing.
Yeah, now, if you haven't already, download the Albion loyalty app. So it's your access to the exclusive member-only perks, little cheeky little offers. Get on it and stay on it because there's stuff there that you go, oh, wow, I'm coming in for that. The Albion Hotel, it's your local, your people, it's your place.
From solo wanderers to family explorers, Austrac Campers has a model for every kind of traveller. Ready to hit the road? Well, let's find the perfect camper for you.
Austrac Campers.
Here's one for the tradies and weekend tourists. Why blow the budget on accessories when you can get the gear that gets you there for less at TJM? Their end of financial year sale is on now till June 22. Get up to 30% off suspension kits, up to 20% off trays, canopies and ball bars, plus 25% off alloy canopies and 20% off drawer systems. Want to know more and see what else is on sale? Head into TJM Nailsworth and Ranella. Take the lead with TJM.
After having a double leg amputation, Dan was told he'd never walk again. Dan said, "Watch me." After training at Enable Fitness Centre for 3 years, the team of exercise physiologists and physiotherapists helped Dan learn to walk again. Now, he's back to playing golf and walking the dog. Enable Fitness Centre is an accessible gym for people with disabilities, a registered NDIS provider. You'll find Enable Fitness Centres at Holden Hill, Elizabeth and the brand new Kidman Park and St Mary's locations. enablefitnesscentre.com.au.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
22 minutes after 6, the Sample Show coming up with Matt Panos here on 5AA at 6:30 this evening. We've still got time for your calls, 8223 0000. And 5AA's Best of SA is all about celebrating and profiling the great brands of our state. It's great to have it again round this year, and we are celebrating today Rundle Blinds for your chance to win a $100 Foodland voucher and 2 tickets to our Best of SA dinner. It's on Friday, the 20th of June at Adelaide Oval. You can give us a call now, 8223 0055, or thanks to Rundle Blinds, curtains and shutters. Drop into the Goodwood Road showroom or visit rundleblinds.com.au.
It's a great night. Men's Div 1, we'll go through that. The BTR excavations. Glenunga smashed Golden Grove by 44 points. Payne of Norwood Union beat Broadies. We go down lower. Ross Trevor beat Sacred Heart. That was a cracking game. Salisbury North, 1 point winners over St Peter's Old Collegians. That was last kick of the game. But the big news, Port Districts beat our friends at Prince Alfred Old Collegians by 21 points. Nettie has lost 4 in a row. So if I just quickly look at the ladder as it uploads.
My friends are at Port Districts. Thanks, mate.
Port Districts are top.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
Port Districts are top. Broadies at bottom. And Prince Alfred College with 2 wins sit 8th. So we might have to have a stern word to Nettie.
Well, he's in tomorrow.
Oh, God.
He's in tomorrow. He's dealing with a young list, he told me, that he's trying to develop. So he might have a couple more losses.
Nettie, I'll give you a clue. At that level, you don't have 10 years to do so. and do what Port's done and build jigsaw puzzles.
Oh,
right?
dear.
Well, instant success. This is Adelaide Footy League Wrap, which we do each Monday night. For more information, you can visit adelaidefooty.com.au, because through the Adelaide Footy League, they are strengthening communities through football.
They do.
They certainly are. Men's Division 2, Breakthrough Mental Health, sponsors that division. Tea Tree Gully defeated Adelaide University by 61 points, so a solid win there. Flinders Park defeated Modbury, 47 points. Luke Thompson playing out there at Flinders Park. Lockleys took on the Brighton Bombers, and the Brighton Bombers had a comfortable 50-point win there. They're all large wins at the moment, except for this one. Athelston took on Goody Saints in the match of the round, and the Raggies got up by 9 points in a thriller. How's that? So then Henley took on Old Iggy's. Henley comfortably up by 46 points. So that is the Div 2 results from round 7. The ladder, well, it sits like this. The Raggies are on top. 7 games, undefeated. Tea Tree Gully in second, Goody Saints third, Flinders Park fourth, Henley fifth. So that's the top 5 of Division 2, all going well.
Local footy, it's brilliant, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I love going and watching it.
No, it's great.
Really good fun.
And just repeating the news earlier about Adam Hartlett out at West Adelaide. He's taking some personal time which everybody supports. It's a all-encompassing role, and especially when you're not playing well. Norwood walloped them on the weekend, which wouldn't have been great. So our support is with you, Adam. No question about that. You're an absolute ripper. It's tough when you don't have...
I lived a similar environment when I was coaching, and it does get to, because you're so proud and you're so invested in your footy club, as Adam is, as I am to Port Adelaide, that it really hurts your pride. It really hurts your pride, and you feel like you're doing everything, and you feel like you're swimming upstream and not getting anywhere, you know, and it can be really frustrating as a job. And the thing is, nobody hurts more
than the coach,
than the senior coach.
Yeah,
they're the ones that think about it 24/7. So understand where you're at, mate, and we just want to wish you all the best.
And footy people know.
Mate,
we see the teams. We know what you're building. We know what you got, mate. Our thoughts with you. You're a ripper.
Yeah, well said indeed. We've reached the end of our program. Next, we'll continue on the sample thread with Matt Panos, who joins us, who's a fantastic player and a fantastic commentator on the game. It's 27 after 6.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
The Shadow Minister for Primary Industries, Nicola